Hello, good evening, everybody. Oh no.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Okay, it was not picking up my desktop audio for a second, even after I turned it on. That was very concerning, but we're fine. I thought we were gonna have 2 weeks in a row of fucked up audio starting, but that's okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this is our good old Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign for episode 26, I believe is the label I have on here. I hope that's right. I'm pretty sure it is. But what episode are we on for Across Eberron?
Yeah, we're
Like
catching
in
up.
the
41.
41?
Sure.
We're catching up. We're catching up, fellas.
It's a number.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. Also, because we've been in Tailspire every session, I totally forgot Soundtail existed, so I'm launching that now for you guys, for anybody who would like to use it. But while I do that, we're gonna go ahead and get going, I imagine. So quick, I guess, rundown of announcements we are still doing, as far as I'm aware, our charity drive for good old Extra Life, which is, as everybody should know by now, if they don't already, that is a charity that does fundraising for children's hospitals across the continental North America. The one that our drive will be benefiting is the Children's Hospital of Atlanta. It's a good cause. It's worth checking out. And so I believe the link is down below, because I still haven't gotten our little thing on this thing because I suck, but that's okay. And consider opening your minds and wallets to a very good cause. But other than that, unless anybody else has anything, I believe we'll go ahead and get started here with a quick little recap. Has been the case for the past several weeks, our brave adventurers have traveled out to a relatively secluded island a little bit off the coast of Saltmarsh in order to clear it out from some mysterious cultists who worship or at least produce some kind of undead that is been more of a thorn in Saltmarsh's backside than an actual problem for a long time now. But now that they're kind of in a time of war, it is a strategically relevant area that they believe that Eleander Firebrand believes that they could make pretty strong use of in their conflict with the Sahuagin. So, pointing our party at that problem, they then took a visit to the Mariners Guild, where they got some information, as well as picked up a random lady who just really liked to kill undead, and made their way over. Fought their way through some undead on the Skull Dunes, as well as a little bit of a jump scare from a wandering undead before making their way into the Abbey proper, which it looked like it had used to been a island where there were people who worship Procran, the god of seas and storms and such, here in Greyhawk. Dealing with the cultists inside and taking a few prisoners that were the mercenaries that had been hired by the cultists. They then kind of started to investigate and figure out all what was going on, discovering that it was a cult of Orcus that was residing here, and that they had for some reason, their relationship with the pirates that brought them supplies had broken down and had fallen into conflict. But with a little more investigation, they found a secret passage leading into a bit of a dungeon crawl, as traditionally as we got to have. It was very exciting. Running afoul of some traps and some bait treasure, they eventually made their way through, fighting some fairly powerful undead that did quite a bit of damage to them. But they were able to clear out, they believe, everything that they found, made a full circuit of the whole place, took a few large crossbow bolts to the chest in some people's case, other people not so much, just pulling open those doors with some ropes. But they are now currently residing in the basement of what is left of the Abbey, since it was burnt down by the pirates, and are kind of deciding what their next steps are gonna be. So, y'all are down there. Oh, and I guess I should tell everybody, since I forgot, and I just told you guys off screen. Our friendly neighborhood cleric Bart had done a sweep of detect magic near the end of last session, kind of taking a look at all their loot that they had acquired, noting that several items were indeed magical in some shape, form, or fashion, but he also got a ping of divination magic from somewhere upon Julian's person. So, he also had some vials of poison and one mysterious liquid that I just left off of the loot table on accident. So, they also have that. Alrighty. Now, what are you boys doing while I try to get Tailspire going?
I was probably going to, on second thought, since we have some downtime while we're doing some stuff, go ahead and start the process of attuning to that shield and seeing if I can figure out how that thing works. Since
Okay.
it didn't seem to be like it was going to take over my mind or something like that. So I was going to start that while we were relaxing. Other than that,
Sure.
probably smoking.
So while y'all were hanging
Jakob,
out,
you're not coming through.
Yeah.
Jakob, your mic is not working. Okay, sorry.
Hello?
Yep, now it is.
Okay. Really annoying. Hey Bart, are those bracers safe to wear, do you think?
for the love of money.
I didn't get anything dangerous on them, but I'm not really sure what they do. I don't even know what this thing does. You just kind of figure out, find out.
Oh, does anybody want to try him? Like he's trying that shield?
What do you mean try him?
I mean, put him on. I'm fine to put him on if nobody else wants to. See what they do.
Julian doesn't know how attunement works because he's not an academic, so he's just like gestures at him.
Okay. Y'all,
it's a magic item. You kind of got to get like a feel for it for a little bit. I mean, it sometimes just kind of works. I don't know. Never really had a bunch of magic items.
Is this something that we want to do?
It's probably not very safe.
Oh well then.
But I mean, it didn't seem like they had any dangerous aspects to them. I mean, what are you going to do with a shield that's going to hurt you?
I mean,
Makes
that
sense
I
to
might
me.
steal your soul.
Right. I didn't get anything like.
Julian does not like it when Jakob says that.
Like it's going to try and steal my soul, or accidentally shoot off a fireball and burn the house down or anything like that. It had some sort of shielding ability to it. It seemed like. So there's that.
What about the others?
The magic you pinged off of all three items was transmutation off of the bracers and the sword, and then abjuration off of the I believe it's abjuration and I think mostly abjuration off, and probably also some transmutation off of the sentinel shield. Whoops, off the shield itself.
What is the?
We've talked about the name of it is. Silence. I'll change it right now. It's actually non-magical now.
Oh no!
It just lost its magic. It's crazy. But yes, the abjuration and probably a little bit of transmutation off of the shield itself as well.
The other items, they got some kind of transformative properties to them. So I mean, I've never really dabbled a super whole lot making magical items. Maybe blessing something here and there, but that's more wizard stuff than what I'm used to. I don't know if you put those bracers on, if it'll turn your hands into claws, or just make you punch real hard, or help you steady an arrow shot, or make sure that if you take a shield impact or something like that, that you stay strong. I don't know. Transmutation's a pretty broad deal.
So it might be.
It makes something different, and that's about that's all I can tell you.
Would you say it's probably safer just to wait until we get back to Captain Zendros?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, then I'm gonna put those back down. Miss Connolly, I know your mission here is to clear as much of the undead from the island as you can.
I believe she woke up briefly when y'all first returned, and then has returned to continue her long rest.
I'm losing my mind. I'm talking to the air.
That's nothing.
You turn to speak to Ella. Oh, yeah, she's asleep. Whoops.
Ian, what's the sword look like?
So if I recall correctly,
I know it has an eagle on it, but that's about all
Well,
I remember.
bird
Shiny
of some
black
kind.
scabbard.
Oh,
With
Yeah,
a,
it is a on the whole like it is currently it resides in a like fine leather like black leather scabbard that has like a silver capped on the end of it, so like you can set it against things and it won't ding up the scabbard, as well as it has like a silver chain in place of what usually would just be like a leather like piece like leather strap that you would use to secure it to your belt. Uh, and it has a black leather handle wrapped in gold wire, with the bird head on the pommel that has two like dark gem like looking stones for eyes. It is golden with silver inlay within it, and like a fancy cross guard that has like gold, once again gold inlay of waves in it with a uh, I'm not sure what to call those, but like kind of like a basket hilt, but instead of like a solid like piece of metal, it's multiple lines of metal that kind of come out from the crossguard itself and meet down at the hilt, like just like what would be like under the chin of the bird.
Glue was probably gonna pick it up just because it's shiny, but
Sure.
mechanically speaking, so I know.
It is a slender blade. It is a slender single edge blade.
Okay.
So you pick it up and like balance it. Like it has like a similar heft, but a much superior balance to your rapier.
I have no clue if those would be like any type of heraldry or like some famous order or anything like that. Is there any way I could use this like
For the sword,
quick? Yeah,
roll a knowledge
like,
history check for me.
that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
18 total.
18. Oh gosh, I'll say with that you recognize the bird.
I know that.
If I still have it somewhere. Oh god, I had it. I thought I wrote it down, and I may not have. Oh no. Oh, I did. You notice you recognize it as being it's a frigate bird head, is what is depicted on the pommel, which is a seafaring bird. But nothing about this seems to like stand out specifically. A lot of like sea captains or pirate captains or captains in general, those that carry blades will have fancy work swords, and a lot of them they do choose things that seem to go with the sea. So the sea like the waves and stuff on there seem like that's like a pretty common thing, but nothing specifically that jumps out at you.
Yeah, it kind of looked like the sword came from maybe one of them pirate captains or whatever that they had a falling out with.
Does it look familiar at all to me?
To you? Roll a history check.
That's gonna be a history 17.
17? Nope. Looks like a
Okay.
fancy sword, but it doesn't look familiar.
Okay.
I'm not trained in history, otherwise I'd roll.
I was more thinking when he said pirate.
oh, wait.
That's
Yeah.
what
And like
I
to clarify, not just pirates, but captains in general like tend to like fancy stuff.
Julian's trained in history.
Sure.
Because
If you
he's
would
a
also
nerd.
like to roll a history check.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Just looks like a fancy sword for as far as y'all can tell.
I like birds.
I like birds.
Nice bird.
Yay.
Was
I
that
feel
one
like
of the-
I'd give that to Julian for free, that you would recognize it as a frigate bird as well. Like you were a
Right, but I
sailor.
meant,
They're
like,
a
where
relatively common bird species.
But like any deeper meaning.
Oh no, nothing deeper than that. You'd go when Bart was like, I think this is a frigate bird. You'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely, that's definitely what that is. Like,
Was that one of the magical items that you were saying was doing something?
Yeah.
Some type of magic?
You said, yeah, that was one of them.
yeah, the sword, the bracers, and the shield. The shield was the one that is like has like the like the well polished steel like around the rim, and like a nice like dark heavy wood, as well as being emblazoned with a eye, like a bright blue eye in the middle. The sword I previously described, like just finished describing for you guys. The bracers are like a nice like dark, like dark brown boiled leather that looks very fine, and you can see it's a do you engrave leather? But it is etched or some kind of embossed. There you go. It is embossed with some designs that look a little more plant like. It looks like there might be some like arrows on like either side of that would be like if you lace it up down here, they're like slender arrows embossed on what would be the right and left sides of both of them.
We had in my notes, the eye shield, shiny leather bracers, and black scabbard bird sword.
Righteous.
It might be safer if we wait until we get back to Saltmarsh to toy with these items, so Captain Zindros can take a look at them.
I agree.
I've literally never ever done the safest thing, ever.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about magic, but I've heard that some items can actually steal your soul, so I want to be a little careful.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Bad magical items that can do crazy stuff, Jakob.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, pretty enough. I'm gonna swing it around for a bit.
Okay. Am I taking that you're spending time with the sword?
Yeah.
Okay. Bart, are you still spending time with the shield?
Yeah, Bart feels like the shield's safe enough.
Okay.
Without there being any type of like, he doesn't want something to happen to where like, oh yeah, the shield just forms into my forearm and now I just have a perma shield or some wild crazy stuff like that. So it's like, oh, if it's not transmutation, I feel like it's pretty safe.
Sure. Is anybody spending time with the bracers?
Well,
Julian was going to until Jakob started talking about items that steal your soul, and now he's like,
Sure. Okay.
Zindros it is.
Fair enough. Okay.
Oh.
So, I guess so. Y'all are returning to those two items. Is there anything that the other two of you would like to do, or that you guys in general would like to do while you take this time?
Well, Gloob, before you get your soul stolen by that sword, you pass me 2 of my water skins?
Yeah. Bart, you can fix that, right? Soul stolen? There you go, Jakob.
Thank you.
What now? I'm sorry.
Soul being stolen? You can fix that.
Yeah, maybe.
It's uncensored.
I'm gonna pass one
Radio.
over to Julian with a knowing wink.
Glue gives the ever slightest pause. Maybe. You're good enough for me.
All right.
Well,
Julian-
Sorrel kind of smiles on, folk who can get out of the situation in a safe way, maybe not the most honest way. So all that talk with them lizard folks about me stealing their souls and stuff, I can't actually do that a lick. So just letting you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you could if you wanted to.
Maybe one day. I'm working on it.
Oh shit.
Julian's had his ass kicked quite thoroughly. He's probably going to be relaxing during this short rest, trying to
Oh yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Are you going to drink from the water skin?
That's very
You
dodgy.
said you winked at him?
It's a very dodgy question.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
Not
Not if
anymore.
you winked at him.
I mean,
I would. But
after
not-
the conversation about lube and whatnot, but getting your soul stolen.
Yeah, all these things Julian was about to do.
Well, I'm gonna drink my water skin. And
Your
become
water
very happy.
skin.
Yeah, my
It-
water skin.
just before someone's, are you sure you want to rest down here, Julie? Well, I was.
Oh my goodness. Anywho, unless there's anything else anybody would like to do during this short rest. Okay.
I guess at some point, unless Julian, are you like taking a nap or something?
Nah, he was just going to have a snack and read one of his books.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably, ask Julian like, well, I mean, you guys had to get in tune with them ear things, right?
Ah, I guess.
Well, they didn't work. like right off the bat, didn't they?
True.
All right. And you got that. You got some other kind of magic thing on you too, don't you?
No.
My ring
Alright.
didn't work at first.
Can I do an insight check on him real quick?
That's up to Julian.
Go for it.
13. Not the best roll.
How do you roll so bad against your party, but then you roll like phenomenally well against my NPCs? What's up with that?
I don't know.
I mean, I
It's
wasn't
just the way
trying to.
Soroli rolls, Ian, obviously.
Clearly.
As far as you can tell, he seems legit.
So to Bart, that just means, all right, something to take up with him when there aren't other people around, I guess. Or wait, you said that he seems completely legit, and like,
Yeah.
well, you got some magic thing.
Do magic things. With little, like, tentacles.
No, I mean, you had like some divination thing on your person.
Ah. No. I mean, with the ear thing, because I had it on yesterday. Leftover magic or something. I don't know.
Can I just, cause Bart's not the biggest, most magically astute person,
Sure.
roll? Oh, well, shit. I was gonna ask if I roll an Arcana check, but I've rolled a nat 20 on it.
What are you trying to garner?
The thing I'm trying to garner is, would I imagine that divination stuff would also be used in like tracking? Essentially, like, is there some sort of magic item that Julian has that might be like a bug?
I
for
mean,
people to find?
so seeing as you were not trained in the skill, but you did roll a natural 20, I will say that you definitely know of divination magic being used to gather information, and maybe you've heard tell of like orbs and stuff that can be used to peer at objects from afar and things like that, like to peer at objects and people. You're not, but so you know it can be used in those kind of ways, but you're not like, I won't say you like exact knowledge of a bug kind of magic item.
Right. Just that it was possible from divination.
Absolutely, yeah. Like divination is commonly used for far-seeing magics or for other kind of information gathering kind of magics. Absolutely.
Right. Well, you got something on your person with some divination magic. I don't rightly know what it could be. But
Well, get it off.
all right, give me a minute. Hold on. I'll start casting detect magic again.
Luke just stares a bit confused as soon as Julian goes and get it off.
He just stands there going, for 10 minutes.
Okay,
He
so
wouldn't, like, stand there for the full 10 minutes, but like, you know, once you're like, I gotta get my stuff together, he's probably like patting himself down, like looking for any item he's not familiar with on his person.
okay.
Yeah, I'd probably tell you, like, empty your pockets or something to make this a little bit easier.
Right. So by
PSA, gotcha.
by the time you
I pull out my wand and start
Yeah, I put all my stuff in a little like tub thing and hand it to you. And...
take off your
Julian, he's
shoes,
probably
your
gonna
belt.
need you to take his shoes off too.
Yes.
If you're not gonna drink that water skin, I know there's no magic in that. I'll take that.
Oh, God.
And I will be rolling a Constitution check as I down that one as well.
Go ahead.
Thank God I have a +7. It's 14.
14. Okay. You're still feeling kind of buzzed because you just chugged 2 entire wineskins, which I think we did the math is like a liter of wine a piece or more. Like, it's a lot of wine if you just downed 2. So you're not like blasted right this moment.
Hell yeah.
But in the 10 minutes it takes him to ritually cast detect magic, you're able to like empty out all like random knickknacks and trinkets and just stuff that you've got out and onto like that table that's down there for him to take a look at it. And when it pings, of course you get the familiar pings that you are now, like that about, like his boots and his ring and the earpieces and all that fun stuff, and now the shield and the sword, the bracers. And then as you're looking at it, it pings in the pile of stuff, and it's pretty quickly evident that it is the medallion.
Is it the one that opened the door?
Correct. And I'll say, like, there's also like a very faint tinge of abjuration, and as a residual effect of your nat 20 from earlier for Arcana, that would make sense for being a magical key.
Okay. Seems like this key is the thing that's doing it. I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, me either.
I guess we'll take it to Katniss Indros.
Right.
All right. Well, that's good that we figured that out. I was worried somebody might have been peeking at you.
Yeah, Julian doesn't put it back on or anything.
All right. Is there anything else anybody else would like to do during their short rest? Nope.
Watch Blue attuned to this sword.
As he just swings it around.
Yeah, probably the same. Probably just like Julian over there hanging out with Bart watching Gloob, like.
Yeah. I will say it's a sweet looking sword. Like, even those of you that aren't familiar, like, that's a nice bitch. Goddamn.
Probably about 5 minutes after he's swinging it, he just sheathes it and just looks at it almost like posing, like showing it.
You feel like you can imagine how it would look with the outfit that you've commissioned in Saltmarsh, and you're like, ooh.
I highly doubt there's a mirror in here, but if I can find a reflective surface, I'll be looking in that.
Okay. All right. So y'all, the end of this short rest, it comes to the end of this short rest, and y'all feel like you're gaining an understanding of what these magical items are. And as shocked as I know you're gonna be, Bart, you can add a sentinel shield to your inventory. It's crazy. Gloob, on the other hand, you can. I would like you to add Captain's Authority to your inventory.
Shit. That sounds
Word?
amazing. I don't know what that is at all.
I would really hope not.
Yeah, well, it gives him the authority of a captain, duh.
You should be able to add it. I'm pretty sure I have it where you should be able to add it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
good
see
deal.
it.
Okay, perfect.
Kent's been like sneaking around in Ian's room while he's at work. He's like, I know that item.
Jesus Christ. Dear God. I mean, technically, he if anybody knew to search for that keyword, for that item, you could find it because I added it to the collection. But that's the thing you'd have to know. That's all you got to name them weird shit.
D&D Beyond's items ever.
There you go. It is a slog, for the record. If you ever try to go through the magic items in D&D Beyond, oh, it's an absolute clusterfuck. Any viewers at home, it's a clusterfuck, just so you know, and a lot of them suck or just completely broke-tastic. One of the two. It's really hard to find an in-between, or they're just weird. Anywho.
You're so weird.
Yes! People are weird on the internet, okay?
Shout out to my stuff on D&D Beyond just being weird. I see you over there.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, okay.
but okay. Anywho, so those are the items that y'all gain. So y'all are all feeling pretty rested. It is, however, still like 3 a.m. at this juncture. So is there anything in particular you guys would like to be doing?
All right, let's go.
Alright, yeah, let's do it.
Stand up and head towards the door.
So y'all are just gonna start walking towards the exit of this building.
Well, we were going to try and make sure those ghouls didn't get in any other weird way. Whatever they're called.
Wait, there's more?
Well, we wanted to make sure that they didn't, slip in some weird direction, Just a quick peek back through, that's all. We know where all the
Alright.
traps Should be
Oh,
nothing to do.
we're going back in there? Oh, I meant outside.
Right. I mean, I can take a quick look. It ain't gonna take no time at all.
Or you can't go in there alone.
Yeah, I'll
Julian will
go
go.
with you.
Yeah, I just once over through the dungeon to see if there are any like cracks in the ceiling or any things like that to where these ghouls might have come in from an alternate direction.
Okay, and you're wanting to do that within the dungeon.
Correct.
So okay, so you're just wanting to start peeking your head into the dungeon. Okay. So y'all go over. I imagine Julian opens the door again because y'all have shut and locked it, which is
Yeah.
intelligent every single time you've left. And it seems you start stepping in. I get just for the sake of consistency, let me get some perception checks for those who would like to, as y'all are kind of walking into that first room that has the remains of the Minotaur skeletons and stuff.
22.
Okay.
Not 22.
Okay.
19.
18.
19, 18, 22, and whatever Julian rolled that was not a 22.
It's sub 10, but above 1.
Okay, that is pretty bad. Even 20, but from sub 10 to 22, this room looks undisturbed from when you last left it.
I'm also going to try to be stealthy.
Sure. If you would like to roll a stealth check, go ahead.
Or quiet, at least, while walking.
Okay.
Let's see. 12 plus 14.
That's pretty
Real
good. That's
stealth.
a disadvantage?
Yep. I rolled a 12 and a 16.
Alright. Is anybody else stealthing as y'all kind of make your way, kind of sticking your head back in?
Yeah.
I'm attempting to, but I'm also not.
Whew.
Okay, sure.
I might be doing better than Bart.
I got a 7.
7.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a little bit better than Bart.
I would hope so.
I got an 11.
Okay.
They
30.
don't have a bonus.
And it's 30 from the road.
I rolled an 18 and a 19.
Wait, is your stealth check better than the rest of the party's stealth check combined?
Yes.
Plus
No.
11.
It's very close. It is. You're 3 shy of beating their combined stealth check.
Nice.
That's wow. That's impressive. Y'all kind of suck.
Thanks. Not my fault.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here to be supportive of you guys in all your endeavors. All right. So y'all.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make like a big long prolonged progress type kind of thing. I know it's well, Bart's thinking it's relatively safe. She's kind of move
Right.
through there, looking at the ceilings and the walls and stuff like that as they kind of go on to make sure there isn't any opening that these ghouls might have come out from what we could have, just missed along the way through.
Sure. Okay. So for the sake of brevity, we'll do this kind of in we'll do this in 3 parts.
Okay.
So and also for the sake of brevity, we'll have 2 people participate in these investigation checks. Either 2 people can do individual checks, or somebody can helmet and take it at advantage.
Are they perception checks?
This is investigation as you're looking for a very specific. You're investigating for cracks and stuff.
Okay.
Plus 0 right here.
Julian's trained,
Plus 0.
so
I think
I'll help
though-
Julian.
Okay. So Julian is taking advantage for round 1.
it'll be 18 after modifiers.
18. So you clear kind of like that first section of the dungeon. You're going up that left turn up towards where you guys found that undead ogre and its accomplices. And you're looking. You guys are pretty easily able to avoid since you did take the time to mark the traps that were along this section to you don't trip any of those, and you're looking around and this place seems pretty solid. Y'all go up to, like, I know it was stated like last session, the pits with the illusion that maybe there's an entrance down there. Y'all like rappel Gloob or Bart or somebody who's lighter down in there with a torch. You don't find much anything at the bottom of those pits. So for the next section you can give me another investigation check.
Yeah. Do it.
Thank God I got advantage.
You always love to
That'll
hear
be
that.
a 16.
16. As you kind of circle back down into the area where the false treasure room was, with the mimic and the armors that seemed to all have a life of their own, making your way through past those traps as well. Still not seeing much of anything. So we're gonna do one last check as you check the final stretch of this dungeon.
Be 19.
19. Easy enough. One last look through, and you can see, like, I'd say, like, all the bodies you've come across, that this one of the only things of note is that they all do seem to be rapidly decomposing by this juncture. It's been hours since any of them have been killed by now, and they do seem to be quickly rotting and fading away. Like, shockingly, in some cases, without as much smell as you would have expected. The bigger ones, the ghouls, as y'all have been referring to them, are a bit more rancid, but the caster and his more intelligent companion both seem to have been so long dead already that they seem to have quickly turned to powder. But other than that, not much to remark upon in this last stretch of the dungeon.
All right.
Mixed feelings about the odorless decomposition.
Well, I guess that takes care of that. I'm glad, but that's not an issue we gotta deal with. We can just get the hell out of here. Never come back.
Please.
Agreeable nodding on the behalf of Julian.
Did you all find anything? I'm assuming from that answer you probably didn't.
Nothing.
All right.
Alright. So, y'all make your way back to the circuitous. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. I'm very struggling on a Monday. You make your way back through the dungeon and make your way back to the basement area. Once again, without tripping traps, because y'all marked them, because y'all are smart. Y'all are back in the basement. I'll say, all told, like, carefully looking over everything and checking to make sure that there were no openings and going down into all of the pits that y'all are able to find and all that fun stuff. This probably took the better part of 2 hours of just slowly going across and keeping your guard up and that kind of thing. So you're now closing in on early morning.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
I guess we should probably head out first light then, try to find out where wherever these ghoul things are coming from, and take care of them. Okay, get out of this place. Go see Zendro sometime.
Sooner the better.
Agreed.
I mean, why not tonight?
Well, they said it wasn't real smart going outside with them things at nighttime.
I mean, Conley cleaned them up, right? For the most part.
I thought they were just wanting to take care of the skeletons.
It cleared a lot of it out. If we're all of the mindset, the sooner the better. I don't see why not.
Sure. We
And
can go now.
if something does come out of the woodworks, then we can deal with it, like we're supposed to.
I just want to make sure that our agreement with Miss Connolly is completed to her satisfaction. So
If she gets her ass kicked enough, I'm sure it'll be to her satisfaction soon enough.
Right. Well, let's see if we can't find this some den of some nasties then.
Let's see if Conley's good to go and good to leave, and if so, then we just sail back.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right. So y'all make your way over to wake up Ella.
Yes, sir.
Except I will announce us this time.
You're
As soon
learning.
as you start to announce, Glue just goes, "Hey, Ella, we're about ready to leave. Are you?"
A faint start from within her room before she just opens the door because y'all are like 15, maybe 20 feet away. And she's, I believe I've gotten about as much and as good of rest as I will accomplish here. But
Well,
don't feel
Miss
quite
Con,
so sore.
There may be, we had heard there were some ghouls, possibly about midway between here and the Skull Dunes. We're not sure if you had dealt with those on your way there.
We did not run into any of the I believe the mercenaries referred to them as hunters. We didn't run into any of those as we were out there during the day. They seemed pretty sure that they only seemed to tramp about at night. I think, Bart, didn't you say you heard one at the door
That's right.
earlier?
Came to the door.
So
There's my watch.
just like I don't know how long I was asleep, but it's probably still a little dark out, so it may still be wandering. But we did not come across any more of the ghasts. No.
Well, if you prefer, we can deal with those, or we can allow the fine people of Saltmarsh to deal with what undead are left on the island. Just want to make sure that you're satisfied on your on our end of the deal of helping you deal with the undead on this island.
Of course. I believe we've dealt with the vast majority. As long as the people of Saltmarsh are properly forewarned, they should be able to clear out what's left fairly easily.
All right. Well, we should probably get our prisoners in the other room in some manacles for our trip back. Have them surrender their weapons to us and get going.
Sure.
I will need one of your manacles, Julian. I only have 3.
Julian rummages through his pack. He has one real quick.
You had one before and used it on the mercenaries.
Yes, I do. I have one.
So
Okay.
yeah, 4 pairs of manacles. Okay. So y'all once again drag the table out from in front, untie the rope that was used to kind of keep them together. They're all kind of rubbing their eyes and waking up, looking less like hammered shit in the case of the 3 rando mercenaries. Balin looks like he's probably seen better days, but seems more to being stuck on this island than anything else. But they wake up and say, we are leaving then.
That's right.
Very well. Sooner
I'll,
off this damnable island, the better, if you ask me.
Need you to surrender your weapons, just like before.
Not that I am not happy to comply, but if we are leaving right now, whatever hunter or hunters that are left may still be roaming. As from what I understand, it's still dark out. We didn't sleep that long.
Well, let me confer with my colleagues.
Of course.
Or my friends. Do y'all want to wait until we get to the boat
Well,
for this?
They can be trusted, Miss Connolly, to get there to the sand dunes and take care of some of them skeletons. We can at least trust them to the boat, I reckon.
All right. Well, gentlemen, you heard him. It's time to go.
You are most kind and reasonable. He just kind of like waves his guys along, and they're like, some of them are kind of like stretching, like, ooh, still sore, but they get themselves up and moving. You see a couple of them kind of like grab up the like little the good berry toast that Bart had made. I was like, oh, just kind of nod at you guys as they go, oh, little cold, but very filling. And just kind of as they put on what little gear they had removed to make their sleeping conditions a little more comfortable. And they just kind of pack up what little of anything, which is basically just bedrolls at this point. Not much seemed to have survived the fight.
I guess we'll make our way out.
All right, so y'all troop out, significantly larger group than you had last time, because you also have Damu kind of trailing along, just kind of happily just bobbing their head as they go along.
Not to make this awkward or anything.
Yes.
We came in a rowboat, and
Mm-hmm.
I know these guys are. I mean, like we'll
It's gonna be a
Well,
tight
fair.
squeeze on that boat at this point with 4 extra bodies.
all right.
I can stay in the water.
Damu just kind of looks over you, unless you're trying to be quiet.
I
I
mean,
did not
he
arrive in a
was
rowboat.
trying to be subtle, but failing at it miserably.
Sure.
We got a pretty small boat, might not fit all of us. You said you were an animal over here, you're a shapeshifter?
Yes,
Nice,
I shapeshifted into some waterborne creatures, and that's how I made my way from the mainland to this island. Yes,
Right. Just
that was my intent for returning as well.
oh, blame it.
Where are you going?
Well, back to Saltmarsh initially, and then who knows? Somewhere else interesting, hopefully.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, let's head out.
Let's do it.
No.
I'm not gonna like turn into like a small fish. Like I'm just gonna feel real bad if you get like eaten along the way.
I did not get eaten along the way here, and I believe that sharks are considered predators.
Right, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yes,
get eaten
I
by
was
a-
I was a
approval.
shark.
Oh,
Oh, that makes it a lot easier.
The pleased interest from Julian. He's like,
Do go on.
In what way?
How did you become a shark?
Well, I used the magic that I've been learning since I was still relatively fresh out from hatching, and turned myself into a shark.
So it takes a long time to learn.
I mean, I've been able to turn into other various animals since I was
But
not
what the
that
shark?
much younger. I've been able to do that for a while, but I mean, I was told I had a talent for the changing of my personal shape. At least the magic that I am more innately talented with, anyway.
Gotcha.
Well, they probably had an easier job of going about it than you did, Julian.
Oh, were you trying to do magic that would change your shape?
I mean, that sounds pretty awesome, yes.
It is pretty neat. It is very useful when you are traveling around, especially by yourself.
I have to do it au natural.
like gestures at his gills.
Oh, did you try to do some shape-changing magic and get stuck or something?
Not exactly, no.
Oh.
Long story, we can
Oh,
talk on the
oh,
way.
I do like stories, so I would love to hear about that. Yes.
Apparently, me and we gonna be vibing on the way.
no,
Sure.
actually, yeah, we'd like to hear it too, Julian.
We'll be talking underwater, I'm so sorry.
I
Oh,
can tell you about
I
it. He gave me the short version.
Oh,
on our way to Saltmarsh.
Oh, well, that is good, because I cannot talk while I am a shark. So it would be better for it, if it was to be a conversation, for it to happen while I am still not a shark.
I see.
Is that a problem?
He's looking very put on the spot.
Oh,
Not. No, it's.
oh,
We'll
wonderful.
talk about it later.
Oh, sure. Very well. Okay.
Realized in his excitement he may have said too much. Now I was looking over at Glue like,
I've said too much.
But yeah, if we start to make our way there,
Yeah.
I would like to speak a little bit with the mercenaries.
Sure.
You know, it doesn't have to be anything in specific, but Mart will probably ask about, like where they're from, they got any family, like
Sure.
essentially showing interest in at least the three smaller fishes' lives and get a greater understanding of how they wound up in this terrible situation.
Sure. Roll a general charisma check.
General charisma check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. That is a total of 6.
6. I mean, you succeed in making small talk pretty easily. And I mean, they kind of grumble like, "Oh, we're from here and there. I've spent most of my life in Seaton," and just kind of like, no family, or I got some were like, "Oh, I got kicked out," but they don't, none of them go into detail. That you get like some very surface level. Like it seems like a lot of these guys were either from the lower kind of like middle classes of society, like farmers or like some kind of not craftsmen, but somewhere in those ballparks. And they just this just kind of ended up being what they did, is fighting or protecting things for money.
Gotcha.
They all happened to be like the bigger kids when they were younger.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Sure.
I am going to take the back of the party and try to give off an air of intimidation to ensure that
Sure.
nothing goes awry.
Okay. Roll that.
It's a 5.
Balin gives you, if you would say, if you didn't know any better, that he was a prisoner, like that you may be considered slightly patronizing, but just kind of like nods and is like just kind of dips his head at you, but then they keep walking. Like they don't, none of them are like they're sticking to their like being in between you guys, but none of them seem particularly frightened of that display. They got plenty. Sure. Yeah, you look vaguely constipated.
I don't know if it would give him advantage. I don't know if it would give him advantage. But Gloop's positioning in all of this would be immediately behind Balin. Hand on rapier, waiting for him to make any sort of move.
Sure. I'll say it wouldn't have given him advantage, but Balin is giving you plenty of like just not really moving all that much. Like he's just kind of walking. Like he doesn't even have like his shield slung on his arm. It's just kind of slung across like his back as they're walking with what few possessions they've got. They seem pretty pleased that they have their stuff just in case, but they're also in the middle. So they're like, if anything attacks, they're in a pretty safe position. So they seem satisfied with not doing anything stupid for the moment.
Good stuff.
So.
Wait. Yeah. Continuing on, I'd probably definitely want to ask Balin kind of the same similar questions, like, so you're leading these mercenaries, and how'd you wind up in here?
Sure. So you're trying to like find out like his like backstory.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a lot more open even without the check. He's just, oh well, I was originally from kind of we're on the southern coast here. I was kind of from like the northeast originally growing up, and just started traveling a lot. Wanted to see more of the world and more of Keelan specifically. There's told there's more wide ranges, and Well, I figured out very fast that it's a dangerous road. Dangerous road. So started traveling with caravans and stuff. Had some that their guards would teach me a little something. I was a decent singer, and I could play a fiddle okay. And so I would kind of entertain them in the evenings, and in return for a little bit of training with the sword and shield to better protect myself when I couldn't be traveling with a larger group. It just kind of turned into a thing. I had a good mind for tactics, and so I just kind of hadn't been traveling with a group in quite a while, but saw an opportunity for some gold, and unfortunately let that get ahead of me before doing any looking into my employers, and unfortunately dragged these poor chaps along with me.
What was your last job before this?
For the last one before this one, I believe I was doing guard duty for that one Lord Summerhome for a while. He kicked me out because I got a little handsy with a daughter, but
Right. Well, sometimes people don't. Hey, people might consider that a violation of hospitality.
well, it was mutual, you understand, but I am but a sellsword, and he didn't take kindly to that.
Understandable.
He just kind of shrugs.
Maybe he had a way of reading people.
Perhaps, or perhaps he's biased rich man. There's a lot of them, but I still got paid for most of the job and made it out with my hide intact due to some quick calming of some nerves and an immediate departure.
Insight check.
Sure, go ahead and roll it.
See, now I get a 21. So
Okay.
trying to see if he seems to be leaving him, cherry picking his story for like the high moments, or if he's leaving some details out, or it seems like he's,
With a 21, let me double check something.
It's one of those. Yeah, I used to get hired to go, and take care of caravans. By take care, I don't mean escort. I mean thieve from the.
Right,
that kind of
right.
thing.
So with a 21, you don't feel like he's lying about anything, but you feel like this dude's like a very accomplished like storyteller. But you don't innately feel like he's leaving anything out. You're not quite sure, but this definitely feels like this is a skill. This wasn't just like a blurb.
Right. Yeah, I'll probably ask him like a couple of other questions, small things like, oh yeah, what's your favorite color, or what's the favorite song, blah 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 blah, and then I'll ask him, how many people have you been responsible for killing?
Okay, sure. So with the color, he's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I look really good in like a kind of forest green. It really kind of brings out something, and like just kind of rambles on like about a couple different colors and stuff. He's like, I had a good wardrobe selection until I was stuck here for so long, and then even less once they burned down the abbey. But songs, and he like whistles a couple tunes that some of them seem to be kind of folksy, kind of like toe tappers at taverns that he kind of does. And then he's just kind of doing that, and you've got him kind of whistling and you will note throughout the entire time that he keeps his head on a swivel almost the entire walk. Like most of the time, he's not sitting there making direct eye contact with you. He's just kind of like talking at you and talking to you while just like scanning the horizon and either side of you guys as you go. And then you bring out how many people has he been responsible for killing or for their deaths? Which was the specific? I'm sorry.
Yeah, for their deaths. I would consider the things happening on this island that him being a part to that, right?
Sure. So you say that?
Yeah, I'm trying to catch him off guard.
Right, and you feel like you caught him about as off guard as anybody could have, but even so, it's like a half beat of like hesitation before he starts talking again. Like talking seems to be a large part of this dude's repertoire.
Right.
And he seems to be good at it. And he just, well, directly responsible for it. I guess that kind of comes into your how you define it, but personally killed. I've been working as a mercenary for quite a few years, so in the tens at least. I'm assuming you're poking more at my complicity to the activity on this island. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure. I tried not to count.
Yeah, ballpark it for me.
Perhaps
Do
100.
they have baseball and go to Saltmarsh, I guess.
Right.
Or
The equivalent turn of phrase. The equivalent turn of phrase. Let me say.
Or you know the saltmarsh seaweeds.
Like salt marsh, like seagulls, perhaps. Something like
I'm
that.
gonna
Hello, cat.
I'm gonna stop and just. I know everybody's walking, but I'm gonna stop and just look at him, and then not say anything. Just keep walking.
Yeah, he's a ballpark. Throughout the entirety of my stay, perhaps a little over 100. The pirates sometimes dropped off their turncoats and those that had displeased them as well upon their own crews, so that took up some of them, but largely the slaves that the cultists or the high priest and his fellows paid for.
No, just for you said about 100 or in the hundreds.
He said probably a little over 100, somewhere within the 100, not hundreds plural. They weren't quite that. They weren't quite rolling in that much cash.
Yeah, that part's gonna have to kind of take his hat off and scratch his head for a little bit on that one. It's like, oh well, that's not gonna make. Well, those kinds of numbers probably ain't gonna shine on you too kindly.
Can't imagine not, but any chance is better than no chance.
Right. So what's your plan? Get back to town.
I don't know. I figure
All right,
I'll
well,
see how
I
it
know
goes when
that's
I
a
get
lie.
there.
Coming as far as you have, you don't got a little bit of a plan yet.
I imagine I will do my best to convince them to not immediately take my head or those of my men. But beyond that, it depends on who the people there are, the ones making the judgments. I gotta play the best tune I can for those that are present.
Yeah, kid. What do you think is gonna happen to our friends here?
You'll be lucky to stay in prison, and that's if you are as lucky as you try to make yourself seem. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be sad if you go to the gallows.
He just kind of gives like a little bit of a dip of his head and his hands out to the side. He's like, I can tell.
Yep. What about
And
you?
spit on the
Logan?
ground.
What'd you
I
say,
know
Bart?
I said, what about you, Blue? I know you hadn't been in
What?
Saltmarsh very long.
What about me?
What do you think is going to happen to our friends here, mercenaries?
Just eyes go back and forth between Bart and Balin for a moment. It's like, couldn't tell you.
Is Julian having a conversation with with?
I don't know. Julian, are you talking to Damu?
He's probably listening in on what's going on over here. Let's talk about the mercenaries.
Sure.
Yeah, then if he seems to be listening, now I will ask his opinion. So, what do you think, Julian? What's going to happen to Balin and his cohort?
Any other time they'd swing. Now, strange times.
Y'all have mentioned something along those lines several times, actually, but I don't know if you've ever really explained. Has something occurred in Saltmarsh?
Saltmarsh is gearing up to have to fight a small scale. Well, hell, I don't really know nothing about war, if it's small scale or large scale. They're going to be
Or
fighting.
maybe it's best if we let other people explain it, if it needs to be.
Very well, if you feel so strongly about the matter. I'm sure I will find out swiftly upon my arrival. Or at least
It's not
figure it
subtle.
out. Oh, well, maybe even before.
I have a question for you, actually.
As
Everybody else
Julian
seems to have, so
tries to
go right ahead.
properly speak. Struggling with the Julian voice today.
What exactly happened with the pirates?
Insofar as their attack.
How did a partnership go downhill?
I couldn't be sure.
Seemed mutually beneficial.
It did seem that way. But one day, you understand, we never met them. The fanatics, led by the hulking one that he nods at Jakob, that you removed the front part of his face, would be down as the muscle when it came to the direct interactions with the pirates. The priests
I
and
imagine
whatnot.
they spoke about the matter.
Insofar as they cursed about it a lot and cursed the pirates and their betrayal, yes.
Pirates are opportunistic. We saw how many of them went down to raid this place.
It was a large number. I originally had more than 3 men under my command. And there were more than the handful of knife-wielding crazies and Ozymandias previous as well.
Not 100% believing the guy is giving all the information, but Julian will just kind of.
Alright.
You understand? This was just a portion, or at least from what I understand. They spoke of there being higher priests, the High Lord or whatever. But so perhaps the ones who originally made the deal with the pirates did something to piss them off, and so they decided to take it out on this island. I don't know.
How close are we to the area that we were originally jumped by the hunter that got thrown off the cliff?
So at this point, y'all are getting pretty close.
Can I keep an ear out for any, like, I know they're really quiet, but
Sure.
or any movement or any like
It's
noise?
still pretty dark. It's like 5 a.m., maybe a little after. Probably a little after that, getting closing on 6. So you're starting to get some like faint kind of pre-dawn light. But a visual is still going to be at disadvantage for those without dark vision.
Oh man, I can tell you that. Okay, it didn't get worse. 6.
6.
If I have a perception, yeah, 6.
All seems to be relatively quiet, from what you can tell, and between like your clanging and Bart's clanging, and there being active conversation being held kind of along the line of people who are traveling, you don't notice anything.
And for context,
Sure.
manifesting the bow.
Very well. You have the bow manifested.
I wanted to be like, oh, well, it was a sword last time. And be like,
Oh, you're good. All right. So y'all keep on trooping, unaccosted as of yet. You start making your way past the area where y'all had originally been attacked by the first hunter. Unless there are any other conversations that would like to be had, we will keep moving.
as we get closer to the danger zone, will focus my attention outward since I do have dark vision.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I got dark vision, but my perception ain't high. So
Okay.
that'll be a 19.
All right. You're keeping your head on a swivel as you're walking along. Right and left and right and left, and there's like a faint breeze blowing, kind of moving some of the taller grasses as you guys are getting closer to the skull dunes. You're not seeing much of anything. It's almost deathly quiet. So y'all continue on until you're starting to reach the sandier portions of the skull dunes, and as you're reaching along, kind of Ella kind of brings you guys to a stop. Um, as we were out here clearing out some of them, if you'll give me a moment to, I think there's a better path where we pushed a little farther along than some of the others. We should have gotten all of them. We drew them out as best we could, and she kind of steps about 15 feet ahead of you guys and starts kind of like in the dark, because she can't see in the dark either, just kind of scanning the ground a little ways from in front of you before starting off like about, a little off to farther to your right, just kind of waving y'all forward. And like, this, it might make no difference, but who knows? It may make some difference. And kind of starts leading as y'all are getting into the skull dunes proper. You're seeing kind of like stretched out along, especially those of you that have dark vision, kind of stretching out. There are shattered remains of skeletons in a lot of places along like the edge of the skull dunes exiting towards the abbey. And as you get closer, you can see sections of where skeletons were fought. And as y'all move a little farther in, and Balin actually kind of whispers out to like whoever's closest of you to him, and kind of jerks his head off to one side. That was where the big bitch was. You see a much larger pile of skeletons, just bones and stuff. Imagine that may have been the remains of the fellow who failed that turn undead when y'all's first encounter.
Nice. Skeleton Voltron.
Yeah, skeleton Voltron. Yep. But y'all do make it the rest of the way along the dunes,
Skulltron.
unaccosted. I like to say like maybe a couple individuals come out, but y'all are currently rolling like 9 people deep. Relatively easy for y'all to go, that one's moving, smash. And
boot party.
none that are aggroing on you in such large numbers that you're not able to deal with it before they can do anything. It looks like they spent their time pretty effectively yesterday. But,
if I can,
yeah.
while we are making our way and Ella's kind of pulled in front of everybody, after this comment is made, that once Bart asks Balin about a number, Glue grows kind of quiet and brusque. But once I see Ella sort of pulling away, I'd like to make my way up to the front like I normally would, as she's sort of like pulling or pointing out this new path. And what would you do with him?
And who are you talking to? You're talking to Ella?
I'm talking to Ella, yeah.
To Ella?
While she's up in front of the group, yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of like making sure that they're going along that right way, and looking off to some kind of squinting to make sure. I'm gonna keep an eye out for the undead and the signs of their presence. Just kind of silent for a second after. Well, I would not let them roam free. That's for certain. You see her kind of like face kind of tensing up and having to kind of work her jaw a little bit before she speaks. There are some who While they may not have been directly responsible, they were there. But at the same time, I am not a jury, nor a judge. It's not my place to decide whether these men should live or die. So,
Forgive me if I'm overstepping here, but it was yours decision to make not too long ago about those underground, whether they lived or died.
indeed. And that is a sin I am willing to bear. Those who dabble in undeath and necromancy, I'm willing. More than.
Okay. We'll just sort of fall back and assist her with whatever she's looking for. Put down the goggles.
Sure. So, if you just roll a perception check for me of your own, kind of.
Ooh, not good. 7 plus 4 for 11 total.
11. So it's less of you're not really able to find anything yourself, but you kind of have to like, as you're looking around, you know, like you can see in the dark, but you don't know what you're looking for. So you have to kind of like ask Ella, and so she kind of like directs you a little bit. And while it's not like maximum helpfulness, you make it a little easier anyway, because once you know exactly what you're looking for, you're able to pick out some of the stuff, some of the bits and bobs that she is searching for in the dark. And y'all are able to make your way across the skull dunes, like I said, more or less unaccosted, except for the occasional skeleton that starts to rise, and y'all quickly just smash to bits. But so coming on like a little after 6, you know, y'all, it's been a couple hours since y'all left, because y'all weren't hurrying, y'all weren't like running or anything. I imagine y'all were trying to be relatively cautious and having conversations and stuff. Y'all come up onto a familiar beachhead. Your boat still seems to be basically how you left it. Doesn't seem really any different.
That's good.
I was really worried about that.
Oh man, yeah. How y'all felt? If like, yeah, it's gone.
We didn't put down the anchor. Oh, fuck.
Ah.
All right, well, me and Julian are good. Me, Julian, and Damu are good. How are you fellas? Catch you.
That'd be rough.
Hey,
Y'all,
Bart, how's-
yeah, y'all only have one extra ring of swimming, so a party member's getting left behind.
Hey Bart, how's your cooking skill for humans? Cannibalism. Cannibalism.
Good gracious. Y'all are only like 6 hours offshore. I'm just saying, like, those with the swim speed, could like reasonably get back and get you guys another boat. Like, oh my god.
Didn't we have something that was a little bit bigger than a rowboat?
It is a little bigger than a rowboat. That's why it can fit 8 people and and still only be crowded.
Yeah, it's got like the single small mast and sail
Yeah, like it fit you guys.
and a rudder.
Yeah, it fit like you guys comfortably, but not like y'all aren't like splaying out like starfish style, or you weren't on your way over here. So adding in 4 additional like full-sized humans.
Right, we're gonna like on the little struts or whatever that is supposed to be kind of seating on a ship. We're gonna have to have like, you know, the edges of butts bumped up against the other edges of butts, that kind of
Right. It's a bit crowded. Damu just kind of watches and is like, "Oh, I did see that on my way in. I was wondering who was here. Figured it was you."
Damu.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you know about the Swahagan, but they tend to like the water. And I got this javelin holster from them. It's made out of some type of shark skin, so they might be
My
hunting
goodness.
sharks.
I see.
So please
I
keep
will-
keep an eye out for that.
I
Don't
will
want you
do
to get
my
hurt.
best. I was not attacked on my way here, but I will stay relatively close to the boat. start shoving off significantly lower in the water than you were when you arrived.
So are all the people who can are in the water, correct?
As far as I'm aware, yourself and Damu are not getting in the boat.
Okay.
Your very large turtle person and your shark man are not in the boat currently.
Before we shove off, I am going to ask for the weapons of the mercenaries, and then place them in the manacles.
Right. They
What
hand them over.
what type of armor do the mercenaries have?
The three appear to be wearing like various in various states of upkeep splint mail, whereas Balin is donned a better kept suit of scale mail.
Gotcha.
And what weapons did they have? Just so I can keep track.
The mercenaries themselves had some pretty standard fare, like a couple long swords and like a mace, as was personal preference to whoever, as well as they each bore a light crossbow. Balin seemed to have just the sword and shield, weapons wise, and I'd say a handful of daggers between them as well, just as like extra stuff like boot knives and things like that.
Yeah, I think before we get on the boat, I would take a minute and kind of. This might be pretty heavy on this boat. If any of y'all are feeling like maybe getting into a little bit of a lighter load before chancing this journey.
One of the
in case.
mercenaries looks over at Gloob and goes, "I'd rather not risk getting stuck and then shoved overboard."
That's fair. Okay.
That risk is the same regardless of whether or not you wear armor.
Makes me feel better.
Armor will make you sink faster.
It will. Bleeding to death will make it a non-issue.
All right.
Yeah, Bart just kind of pauses for a second of, yeah.
Balin just kind of shrugs and is like, I mean, if you really want my armor, sure. Wouldn't make much of a difference.
For anyone to asking for their armor, I'm just like giving them the option if they want to take a second to
Right.
get out of their armor just in case.
Right.
Yep.
All of them seem kind of like, I'll keep it.
Yeah, I'm completely okay. I got that ring. We're good.
Right, yeah.
I can wear my armor just fine.
Okay, so,
If I go overboard, it's been nice knowing all of you.
I mean, Julian can swim. You are a heavy boy, though.
Yeah, but
So.
say y'all got lifeguards going.
One of them is a shark. Not much of a lifeguard, but
One of them is the shark, and the other one secretly worships sharks. So
that's a good point. That's fair. Julian, you get you smell some blood, and you just go, ooh. Start feeling some type of way. Say it again. Anywho, y'all shove off with 4 manacled prisoners who kind of like, we'd help row, but clink, clink, clink. Because these manacles are like actually worth a shit and don't leave like this much wiggle room. They're like this. Like,
Do I look like I need help rowing?
didn't think so.
I will help
muscle.
rowing. I mean, Bart's no stranger to hard labor.
Right. Well, but it doesn't need a ton because it does have a sail. It's just a little bit of a heavy load. So with Damu kind of, you see, just kind of as they like seem to go beneath the water, their form just seems to rapidly shift and shrink in some ways and lengthen in others. And there's a shark swimming alongside you guys. And Julian, I imagine, is swimming not quite as like this, but still in the water, keeping fair pace. I'll say with the extra load, you're able to keep up, Julian. The extra load on the boat keeps it. It's close. You're having to. You're over there like Olympic swimmering, like Trying to make sure you keep up with them because your swim speed is only equal to your walking speed, correct? It's 30 foot.
Double moving.
Yeah, you're double moving. It's a boat with a sail, and Jakob and Bart are rowing.
Worst case scenario, I'll reach out and grab it and just be like.
Every now and then, Damu kind of like drifts back because they're having a much easier time keeping pace with the boat as a shark, and just kind of like looks at you and kind of like tilts to be able to make like eye contact with you.
Like I said,
and then keeps swimming back up.
Onto the boat, be like, yep.
Y'all randomly like you slow down a smidgen. You're not sure why. The wind didn't seem to slow down. You just look back. You see the whoosh, like Julian creating a wake behind you guys. He's just holding on to the back of the boat.
They have no idea.
There's nothing far enough below the waterline for you to grab onto that will keep you from being visual somehow.
I can let me lamprey on. Just.
There's not anything for you to lamprey on to. What are you like holding on to the rudder? And they're like, why can't I steer? What is going on?
Come on, give him a stealth check.
Jesus Christ.
But as we're rowing, I'm gonna look over to Bart. Or like, how close is Bart to me?
Y'all are pretty close together. If
boat.
y'all are both,
Okay.
if y'all are both rowing, it's not like y'all be on opposite sides. Y'all are on the same bench rowing, each of you. Bart having to kind of reach up a little bit to do it while you're doing it at chest height.
Oh yeah, I'm getting a full body.
Yeah, you're over there like.
Bart, I'll keep this short, but if anything
Right.
happens to me, I need you to promise that you'll get this ring to my wife, Brandolith McDoonsley. She might also be going by. 1 second, gotta pull that up. Put it in parentheses.
He forgot his wife's name. That's fucked up. No wonder.
No,
I
It
forgot her
explains a
fucking
lot.
maiden name.
It explains a lot.
Separated.
A rantlet.
What is it?
I will post it in the
Okay.
Skype. She's traveling around Sweden.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to say your last name, and you're not. Nothing's gonna happen to you. So, just shut up and keep rowing.
But if it does, I need you to promise me that you'll get
I
it.
can swim. You'll be fine. Don't do anything stupid if you're planning on doing something stupid right this second. Because I'm too tired to save you from being stupid right now. Just keep rowing the boat. I'm fine. You just keep rowing.
I mean, if a goddamn tentacle comes out of the water,
We'll kill it.
pulls my
It's
head
all right.
off or something, I don't know. Take the
Nope.
goddamn ring off my body and give it to my wife.
I'm just gonna look over to the mercenary. Like, there ain't no tentacles out here. Just keep looking forward.
The three are just kind of like, look mildly concerned.
Insert Julian in the water going, oh, ho, 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 ho.
Balin sits there and looks kind of thoughtful for a second, and then starts singing like a sea shanty about krakens. Like,
This fucking asshole right here.
yeah. But it's more like a comical, like it could never catch our ship because it was too fast. It sought, our ship for miles and miles. It's kind of like mocking them.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm just like,
And
imagine Julian
hold
hearing
on,
this and
let me
looking at the
see
camera and
here.
raising an eyebrow like,
he has a pretty darn good singing voice, actually, so he wasn't lying. 20 on that
As
performance check, looking pretty. Woo.
As he starts singing, I vomit off to the side because exercise and alcohol don't tend to mix well.
Oh yeah, you feel pretty shitty.
I just rolled a natural one on my constitution check.
It's been a while. It's been a
Wait,
like.
wait,
It's
wait.
been.
You just rolled a natural one?
You feel pretty ill.
Ian, I need you to roll a d4.
God damn it, Christopher. My friend, stop rolling checks. I know I kept that table open. Where is it?
God damn.
Great. Now you can give Glib more reasons to be paranoid. You're getting pretty lucky. It could be much worse. Once again, like your daughter seems just to be wailing, and it's just horribly distracting. Like after you go and you vomit over the side, you're deafened for the next minute.
I'm gonna keep rowing, and let's see. Okay, what would I need to roll to try to hide it? Deception.
Deception check, yeah.
16.
What is everybody's passive insight, real quick?
I think mine's 18.
Fuck.
18. Okay.
Passive
11.
perception is 23.
Jesus
That's what
Christ.
D&D Beyond says. I don't know how it's 23 though.
You have a +5, so 15.
Oh, passive perception is 23. Passive insight is 18.
Gotcha. So it would be
Nice.
yeah, it'd be your passive perception to notice, I guess, that something is wrong. So anything over a 16 for your passive perception notices that Jakob doesn't seem good even after throwing up. Some of you are familiar with the concept of the puke and rally, and he does not seem to be rallying as well as one would normally expect. And you've seen him do this several times. Like, he usually seems good to keep on trucking after the fact, and just seems a little out of it.
I'm going to. I'm just gonna see that he's having a tough time with it, and looking really green in the face. I'm going to hit him with a bless and be like, "Come on, just a little bit further, buddy. Come on, you can do it."
Not a single word.
Yep, you don't hear any of that. you just know you feel better all of a sudden. Like you're like what would be athletics checks for y'all to row. It just feels much easier all of a sudden. You're like, ooh, this feels much better all of a sudden. Maybe you just got a second wind out of somewhere, but you're feeling a lot better.
And then I roll high on my own Constitution check to, like
Not
fresh puke while also highly exerting myself. I managed to keep it down.
Oh man,
I have to do like 9 or 10 of those swallows.
Uh-huh.
I keep it down.
I will say it's not necessary to keeping the boat moving for you guys to row. If you want to get make up for the extra weight you kind of do. With that being said, are you guys rowing all the way back?
Unless someone tells me I'm not supposed to be doing this, I'm assuming it's necessary. Bart knowing nothing about boats.
Yep,
Okay.
seeing as our experienced boat Capitan is in the water.
He is
Just
in the
keep
water.
rowing.
He is in the water. So that being said, y'all are gonna have to make not concentration checks. Yeah, not concentration, but Constitution checks
Sure.
for me.
Okay, thank God it's not another natural one.
I mean,
It's gonna be a dirty 20.
dirty 20, and what was that?
14.
14. Okay, for this first section of the journey, neither of you take a point of exhaustion.
All right.
That's for like the first hour.
How many hours do we have?
6 total.
Fuck that.
Nice.
So
You
you're
wanna
kind of
get one in
whew,
strength after this?
whew.
Hey, where's Glue at?
He's on the boat with you. He's like sitting up in the bow, like, oh man, looking at his sword, like it's gonna look so badass with his new threads.
It's
What
not
is
far
your
from all.
strength?
What is my strength?
Yeah.
The 10.
I'm pretty sure this boat is going like this.
This
Because mine's
is-
19.
Jakob's doing like this, and every now and then he's having to pull in.
Yeah, you're kind of like you're having to stutter a little bit to keep the boat from just going in a circle. We've been here before. We're going in circles. But out in the middle of the ocean, so how are you
I
supposed
guess
to tell?
Julian and Damu are seeing the boat go.
Yeah. Just,
That's how I'm able to keep up.
there you go. It just kind of is a little crooked sailing.
We will
Am I
hop
no
down and
longer
get on.
deafened? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Am I no longer deaf?
It lasted for a minute, so it is long gone after that first hour is up. We'll say like at like the middle of that, you just were deaf for a minute, and Bart just kind of like blessed you, and he said some stuff that you saw his mouth move, and you just kind of nodded like absolutely, and y'all just kept on trucking.
I am gonna eat one more tiki root to help with the
Sure.
or tiki root to deal with the.
It makes you feel slightly less nauseous.
Yep.
Just kind of. Out. So as y'all keep rowing, unless y'all either stop rowing or somebody swaps with you.
Good. I mean, I got this.
Okay. So I'm gonna say.
Jacket off, scarf off, hat off. We're going in there.
Okay. As you guys are, I want you each to take a D8 inspiration die though.
Okay.
From Balin who is just like.
Oh, okay.
Is sitting there and is like seeing y'all just going super hard and is just renews singing, but like more like encouraging like rowing songs, like that would be like the boom 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 boom, usually accompanied by. So each get a D8 to roll alongside this strength check or constitution check. I'm sorry.
I got an 18 on the next one, so.
Okay, that's much better.
Yeah.
It lasts for 10 minutes, so.
Oh.
Well. Shit. 19.
Nice.
24.
24. Very nice. So as you guys go, it's still your shoulders and like your pecs and it is burning. Y'all are feeling the burn. Y'all feel like you're like listening to a live infomercial as you go. It burns so much. But
You're gonna look like me after this.
Still neither of you take a point of exhaustion.
I'm already way prettier than you, Yager.
That's not true.
Good grief. And
Almost.
I just like to point out, y'all could actually like, kill yourselves if you had just been failing these from the start. So we're just gonna keep trucking, and we're gonna get round number 3, and Bart is gonna get an inspiration die, but you are not.
Fuck you, Balin.
You seem to be not having as hard of a time. So
21 total. I actually rolled good on the inspiration.
very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, what about you?
3.
23.
I thought you said 3. I was
There-
like, ow!
Ah!
It just rolls overboard.
Jesus. Okay.
He just falls off into the water.
For expediency's sake, and since y'all have basically knocked it out of the park for 3 checks in a row, we're not gonna do all 6 because that's ridiculous. We're just gonna kind of split it up. That man, you like by the time y'all Saltmarsh starts to get in sight, and because almost every single one of Jakob's rolls was over 20, y'all actually feel like you get there a little bit faster than you did going. Feel like you shaved some time off. Maybe there was the tides were with you. You don't know. But as y'all are kind of closing in on Saltmarsh proper, you can see the silhouette, and you feel like you may never be able to lift your arms ever again. They are numb.
Lube is at the helm of the ship. He has to say it. And ho!
Shut the fuck up, Glue.
Ella's just kind of looking at you guys like, that was very impressive, both of you. Never just like little golf clap.
I look like I've been thrown overboard. I'm just sweating so much.
Yeah, you were just like drenched in sweat. Like you, even after removing your jacket and your hat, and it's a sorry state to see Bart in.
Julian like breaks the surface, looks up at the top, like, "Y'all okay?"
It's a heavy boat.
Just push us in. Just push us in. Please.
With a laugh, Julian will like put a hand on the back of the boat and like, do it.
Make an athletics check for me, Julian.
He's joking.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, if you're actually trying to push, Damu kind of comes up and pushes their face against the back of the boat.
Yeah, it's banter.
Which at one point, I will say, you noticed Dommy like swapped back to a turtle for like 6 seconds and then immediately turned back into a shark and kept swimming.
Julian was watching closely. She says it takes a long time to master, but you never know.
You never know, man. You never know. But as y'all pull in to Saltmarsh, and you're kind of getting up to the docks where you had borrowed this boat from, y'all come in, and I presume somebody else ties up the boat to be kind to your fellows, and
We'll do so.
you start unloading your prisoners and everything.
I will prostrate myself on the dock. Just,
Bang, 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 bang.
I will lie right next to him.
Because also your pots and pans.
Yep.
And
So I'm not exactly on my back. I'm just kind of like.
you're kind of like propped like this. Like one shoulder is up. You're just like this on the dock. But as y'all arrive and y'all start getting your prisoners and various and sundry, which does catch the attention of some guards who did immediately kind of start walking down the docks to investigate a new arrival. That's where we're going to go ahead and take our break, because even though it's not 9, this is a good spot for it, so we're going to go ahead and do it. But everybody, we'll be right back. We're going to do some quick bio, maybe refresh some drinks, and use the restroom if need be. I suggest you do the same while we do so that you don't miss anything, because we'll be right back here in about hopefully the next between 10 to 15 minutes. We'll continue with our hero's arrival back into Saltmarsh after a day and some change's absence. Don't go anywhere. Bye! And hello, everybody. We're back. Hi. We return once again to do the thing with Saltmarsh and swamps and ghosts, presumably. There's been actually relatively few ghosts. I think the specters y'all fought actually on that island were like the first like incorporeal beings that you have done battle with. So those are the first official ghosts of the Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I feel like that should be a milestone. We should have tweeted about it. We finally fought some ghosts in Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Screenshot of specters on the battle map. Why do I think of things that are good like after the fact? It's really unfortunate. But anywho, hopping back into it. Hopefully, if anybody in the chat is paying attention, let me know if the music is too loud, because I actually got not Tailspire, I actually got Soundtail going when we went on break, so we have that going instead of me using Tailspire to jury rig it. Anywho, the last we left off, our party members had finally departed the Abbey Isle, as it were, with a bit of exertion from both Bart and Jakob and some very good constitution checks to not be tired as shit, but still being tired as shit. Just not mechanically tired as shit, but they are tired. It's a fine line. They have arrived back in Saltmarsh in the not so early hours. At this point, so since it's say like y'all shaved like 15 minutes off with y'all's incredible rowing capabilities, it took about 5 hours and 45 minutes instead of 6 hours. Very, very, very nice. Like shaving off, that's a significant portion of time if you really like do the math. It's around noon that y'all are getting here, around lunchtime. So that y'all are really starting to bake when y'all got to this dock. But they've arrived and they're offloading their cargo in the form of prisoners, as Bart and Jakob try to be not quite so fucking exhausted. And some guards are approaching down the dock to kind of figure out what's going on with you guys. So, and y'all were a little lower down than y'all were last time, but on approach, things hadn't really seemed to change. Not much seems to have changed. There still seems to be a lot more guards out and about. Some of them mercenaries, some of them soldiers. Some seem to have like Keeland colors, but more of them seem to have other regalia that none of you can like name off the top of your head. And you can still see like the smoke from the cook fires and stuff from the kind of tent encampment immediately outside of Saltmarsh. But as these guards are kind of coming up to you guys. Ho there!
Oh.
Hi.
Y'all seem to have had the worst of it. Starts
What time of day did you say it was?
about noon. So it's hot as shit right now.
Yeah, I guess Bart will make his way to his feet to be cordial, if not probably stinky. I'll try to prestidigitate some of the sweat off as the guy gets closer.
Yeah, so he's kind of, they're looking,
I
and as
will
they get
also try
closer,
to sniff.
you doing a sniff check. You can, yikes, haven't had a bath in like a day, and it's been rough. You're very aware of like undead gunk that has like got splattered on you, and you didn't notice to wipe it off. It's kind of nasty.
Yeah, it gets
It's probably been closer to
It gets-
a little over 2 days.
Not quite. So y'all left. The last night was the only night y'all spent because y'all arrived in the wee hours of the morning, made your way up there, spent the night, and
That's
came
right.
back. So it's been about a day and a half, more or less, since y'all left. But as he gets closer and he's eyeing and is noticing the manacled individuals, he says, "Y'all appear to have some company that less than willing."
Does this guy look like a fucking idiot?
He just seems
Like
to be
that's a legitimate question. Does he seem like like just a really dumb person?
not particularly stupid.
Okay.
I'll say, but it was definitely a comment of, please tell me why these guys, what's going on with these guys you have in chains, which he says that aren't willing, and Balin just kind of immediately goes, actually, we are here of our own volition.
Yeah, they're into that kind of thing. It's New Dawn. No, they're prisoners. They were out on the island out there. We just rode their asses all the way back for the past half a dang day. Can you, I don't know, put them in jail or something? Take them somewhere to be detained? They're kind of responsible for some wrongdoings on the island there, which we can talk about as soon as you want to.
Kind of the dude seems to be who is standing in front of him. He's in a squad of like 5 dudes. So he has like this dude standing in the front, and then he has like 4 guys kind of stacked up behind him. Well, I believe I can do so. You lot have been doing a lot of work for the council, so I imagine Captain Firebrand will at least hear out your reasoning for detaining these folks. He just kind of nods and was like, "Come on then." And Balin just kind of says, "Yeah, let's." And he just kind of shoos his men like, "Yeah, let's follow him."
Yep.
And some of his men are kind of like, they're definitely like, this sucks. But they don't have much choice. So they start to get shuffled off between the 4 guys kind of stand on either side of them, 2 and 2, kind of keeping them in line with each other. You see they actually like pull out some others, some like manacle kind of things, like some chains themselves, and kind of like hook them all together in a line. Make it a little easier to manage and keep track of. And the leader of sorts, at least the one who seems to be in charge of the small group, says, "Well, Captain did say that y'all had gone off on some business. I assume it was successful."
Yep, I'd say in the high 90% at least. It was
That's good.
what they refer to as a shit show over there on that island. But we got it taken care of, and shouldn't be too big of a deal to get your folks settled up there. We can talk more about it in more official capacity.
I see. Glad to get some good news from somewhere.
So bringing bad news in the past day?
Nothing good. Reinforcements are slow to come. Still haven't really heard back from more of the kingdom's forces.
Right.
Still fighting the Sahuagin. They dirty bastards. And when it comes to fighting,
Quick interjection. Are the prisoners being let off, or are they just being corralled right now?
They're currently kind of corralling them, and they took like a few, like about like 10 feet down the dock, but the guards do seem to be waiting on this guy who's talking to y'all right now.
Okay.
Like they hooked him up and have kind of like are getting him down that way because they'll move slower, so they might as well get him a little farther down the dock.
That was great. Almost seamless reintegration.
Do what?
Cody disconnected and reconnected. It's just like almost perfectly. I just like, whoop, just a little bit of a nudge.
Legend. But anyway, he says, well, yeah. The longer we wait for him to attack, worse it gets, really.
Well, let's go crash Firebrand's lunch break, I reckon. As soon as we can get this taken care of, the sooner we can all get on with our day.
Sure.
I don't know where he's at or what he's doing. I'll just follow you.
I couldn't tell you for sure, but odds are good he's either speaking with various and sundry mercenary captains and what few of the crown's troops have been sent, or he's in his office. We'll find out pretty soon. Turns around and starts walking and kind of waves his guys on to start trooping these guys through. And y'all start weaving your way through the streets of Saltmarsh, which, as previously, y'all weren't here for very long, but it was the same as when y'all left. It's still a little overcrowded. Definitely more people that are in than would normally be at this time of day. Like as y'all, I would say y'all would notice like same as before. Shipping vessels all seem to be docked, even in the middle of the day. They don't seem to be making forays out to fish. And as you kind of are walking through the town, like with like passive insights and just kind of like passive perception stuff as y'all are walking through, like it's morale ain't great here in town. Like the longer they stay cooped up, it's seeming like you're seeing you see a few guys like stumble out, like as y'all are walking past the snapping line, like a couple guys come stumbling out at noon, just absolutely blasted, like up against the wall, vomiting, and you see one of the bouncers kind of lean out his head, basically tell him to fuck off for now. So things energy's been tense as y'all make your way to the jail. But upon approaching and entering, they kind of escort them down to the cells that y'all are at least vaguely familiar with, as that was where your lizard folk friends were kept for a short period of time, to have them somewhere behind lock and key. Go in. Eleander is not present right at this moment. The guy that came with you does, however, say, like, give me a minute and I'll send a runner to find out where he's at and let him know that y'all have come back. Can't guarantee when he'll show back up. I imagine he'll want to hear y'all's information. So walks back out.
I don't think we have much to do we?
Take a damn nap. I'm tired as heck.
Sure, I think we can take the day, right? We can sleep and then head out to one of the other things.
One of those other things, if we're going to go to the heart of the problem, I guess you could say, we'll be going on boat. And, honestly, probably get just as much sleep on a boat than here. Much as I'd like to stay here, I don't know how dangerous, just how time sensitive things are, what's progressed.
I do need a resupply. Talking to Captain Zindros to see what those items we acquired are. Probably not a bad idea.
Did Ella come with us here?
She's with you at the moment. She's standing back kind of with y'all. Damu's gone.
Damu just dipped out?
Yep. Y'all remember them kind of shape-shifting back and kind of coming up onto the dock. Disappeared at some point as y'all were walking towards the jail.
That tracks.
So cool. Just disappeared.
Turtle Batman.
Just transformed into a
Turtle
fish
Man.
blended
Turtle
together.
Man. They're
Turtle dude.
turtle person. They're down in the sewers. They're like the Ninja Turtles.
Saltmarsh has sewers?
No.
Okay, I was about
No,
to say, that's
absolutely not.
really fucking terrible.
No,
Mm.
this place does not have sewers.
Bart, the only reason I bring up choice, I suppose, is he specifically mentioned reinforcements.
Right.
Maybe it's best if we go get the reinforcements first. If we
Yeah,
need
that's
to
true.
change up the plan. That's just
Yeah.
my thinking.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I mean, things could have been changed. They could have already discovered it, as far as we know. But if we need more reinforcements, if things changed, or yeah, we'll just have to see what's going on. Yep. And that also, I mean, how are you feeling about this whole situation, Miss Conley?
Well, things certainly don't seem great here.
No, these most certainly do not.
I did agree to accompany you, for a while at least.
Right, no, I appreciate it. And if we don't have to go on this next voyage, it's actually kind of sounds like it might be a little bit safer if we don't go on that anyway. So it could be technically good news for you.
Always glad to hear that my chances of survival have risen.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I don't plan on going anywhere tonight.
Nobody ever does, I have found.
Very true. I'm just gonna light one up. Just fucking start smoking a pipe in the middle of like the guardhouse. Like,
Sure.
It's been a day. It's only noon and it's been a day.
Y'all are all kind of like propped up like around the door that y'all know it goes into Firebrand's office currently. Door's shut, but y'all are kind of all propped up around. There's just like some chairs that were around like as like a waiting area. So y'all are able to sit down. Are y'all just plan on y'all just gonna sit and wait until Firebrand shows up?
I mean, realistically, it was also not a walk in the park to swim at top speed for 6 hours. So
Yeah, you're probably pretty
Julia's
fucking
probably like-
exhausted. I thought you held on for a bit. Kind of.
like if it got to be too much or whatever, but like
Just kind of hooked like a piece of like mooring rope, and you just kind of tied it around your midsection, just kind of sat and just like.
bro was chilling 10 feet under the water.
Probably a bit sore right around there where the rope was pulling on you, but I mean, hey, better than being just absolutely exhausted.
I just imagine the type of soreness you have after like inner tubing for a couple of hours times 50.
Oh god.
You know, it's kind of like that like when if you get in a car accident and the seatbelt like you're driving really hard against your chest. It's kind of like some bruising, except instead of being across your chest, it's just like across the middle and up under your armpits. But anywho.
Glue.
I.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jakob.
Oh, you first. It's mine's gonna take a couple of.
I was just gonna say, Glue not being so exhausted as the rest of the party while Bart's taking a smoke and Julian and Jakob are just sort of recovering. I'm just gonna start looking around and taking in entrances and doorways to this place.
Sure. Are you like wandering around, or are you talking about in just this space in particular?
I will
Near the
wander
office.
around as far as nobody stops me. If someone says anything, I'll just like immediately turn around. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. You're a relatively recognized figure. However, I think you're basically left to your own devices as you wander around, except when you start kind of heading back in their direction. There's like this back hall that went down towards the armory. Due to the front, the desk, same familiar bald on top, bigger guy that has seemed to be one of the regular like desk staff.
This is the guy that gave me the crossbow.
Yeah,
correct?
this is the same guy that gave you the crossbow. He's like,
How's it going, Bacon?
"Hey, little, that doing all right by you?" Pointing
It
at the
is,
crossbow.
It's doing really
Oh,
good. It's
that's
doing
good.
lots of good things out there.
Well, glad to hear it's working good for you. That's new. Points at your sword. Very
It is.
fancy.
You want to see it?
Well, of course.
I'll pull it out, put it in front of his face, and just sort of like swing around a little bit while he's looking at it and just try to like peek around a bit, just getting ideas
Sure.
of doors.
Sure. Roll a perception check for me.
Sure. Oh, not good. Damn. 4 + 4 for 8.
8.
Fuck.
I mean, there's some like small windows, but they're like reinforced, like there are bars on them.
Right. They're hard.
But
Makes sense.
the only like obvious entrance that you see is the front door. And he just kind of admires it for a second. Wow, I don't know where you got that, but that's a mighty fine weapon. That'd fetch quite a penny if you so chose.
Not looking to sell.
Oh, I have no interest in buying. That's a little rich for my blood, but very fancy, very fancy.
But yeah, no, this has been doing great. I appreciate it. You
I'm glad to hear it.
you're staying safe too, right? Not
Oh,
wandering too far from.
Oh no. He just kind of pats his belly. He's like, oh, they don't send me out too far anymore. I got a good spot right here. I keep the books real good. Keeps Firebrand happy.
protecting the fort.
Well,
Right.
of course.
The most
Somebody's got to
important part.
mind. Somebody's got to mind the desk and the numbers. Won't find no better.
It's good seeing you again.
No. You as well.
What?
Hmm.
Do y'all have a back exit where you take prisoners or anything?
Not
Just
really.
the
No.
front?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I didn't know if there was some sort of in-out system or anything.
Nah. We're not that fancy. Just we got 2 big doors on the front, and you kind of shuffle them in, shuffle them out. We don't usually have so many that we're having to do it at the same time, so not much of a problem in my experience.
We're keeping you busy. Maybe it'll.
You are. That is quite a bit. I mean, we usually it's just some drunkards or fighting or somebody stole something from somebody else, so they're here for a little bit while we sort that out. But I mean, yeah, you brought them lizard folk last time, and that was very exciting. Now we got some mercenaries. It appears armored. They didn't have any weapons with them, but who might have judged?
They're worse than that.
Worse than
mercenaries.
Just kind of glances down the hall. Just kind of a thinking look on his face.
Yeah. They took in slaves. Had them sacrificed.
Slavers. His frown immediately just like brow just kind of deepens. He has like a bit of a unibrow going on. He just kind of just deepens into like a V, and his just like the folds of his cheeks. He just kind of sees a bit of a frown going on. He starts rubbing at his chin, like with what bit of scruff he's got going on there. I'm sure the captain will be less than pleased at their presence, but at least they're not out doing it anymore.
Yeah. From their mouths, more than 100 slaves taken and sacrificed.
He just kind of spits off to the side, shakes it.
Yeah,
Well,
protecting those cultists on that island for months now.
talking about the island, a few hours off the coast.
Abiel.
Well, we know how to handle their kind around here. Don't worry. May do some good lighting a few moods around here to do something worthwhile.
Take it easy, Bacon.
You as well, Lilden.
I'll walk back over to the group.
Okay. do so. Unless there's anything else anybody would like to do, probably about half an hour.
I think
After the.
Jakob said he wanted to do
Oh,
something.
that's right. I'm sorry, Jakob.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, buddy?
While Glue walks over there, I'm going to turn to Julian and say, I already talked to Bart about this on the boat, but I need to make sure that this is clear amongst the group. I don't expect to die, but I don't think a lot of people do. If I do, I want you to get this ring to my wife. Her name's Brandelis McDoonschliebe. She also goes by a Rantlet, possibly. Last time I had talked to her was a couple months before I met you, Julian. And she was traveling around Seaton. It's pretty much my only request. I hope something does happen to me. Y'all make sure this gets to her.
I'll agree. On one condition.
Oh, all right.
Similar deal. If something happens, let my wife know, so she's not waiting anymore.
Okay. What is your wife's name, if I can ask, so I know who I'm trying to find?
Abby Arosi. Probably staying at my brother's estates in Seaton. Abari Arosi.
Promise you that I will inform her if something happens.
Deal.
He holds out his hand.
Shakes it.
He looks very tired. Like, not just physically, but like comprehensively.
Yeah. And then I'd like to spend the rest of the time writing about 3 pages of notes about our journey, and then seal it in a letter with some sealing wax.
It can be a bit of a challenge as you're sat in a foyer, basically. But easily enough
Right on the
preparing the letter in the first place. You struggle a bit to find. You have to go borrow a candle from like the front desk to heat the sealing wax over in its little thing. But you get it done. A little messy, but anywho, so about a half hour passes. About after the time Gloob comes back, about a half hour after that point, before y'all hear some voices kind of approach from outside, and the doors open, and you see Eleander Firebrand trailed by several guardsmen, as well as like what appears to be one higher ranking member of one of the mercenary companies, you would assume. Dude carrying a helmet under one arm, and he has like an insignia on, like has like a, what are those called? Motherfucking thing. Tabard. There we go. He's a tabard that seems to be depicting, like some animal. Like it looks like maybe like a multi-headed stag of some kind that's kind of like rearing back. But whatever. But not a symbol symbolism any of you guys recognize. But it's kind of trailing behind him, and they seem to be just like it talking as they walk. As they come around the corner and come up on you guys, Eleander just kind of cuts him off, raising up a hand. Gentlemen, it's good to see that you all have returned safely.
Yeah, well, yep. Yeah, we're back already. Free to talk?
Turns his head. He says, "We will continue this discussion later. Keep your men ready to move." And dude just kind of like opens his mouth to say something, but then just dips his head a little bit and turns and walks out. The guards kind of parting as he goes. I had a man come by tell me y'all had some news of success as well as some capture.
That's right.
He said, well,
Um,
let's have a seat. He walks over and goes into his office and kind of still same as last time, walking around in full armor. Seems to be kind of keeping at the ready, but pulling his gauntlets off as he takes a seat behind his desk and just kind of probably stands up. So
we got to the island. The dune section of the island is just littered with skeletons underneath the sand. Dispatched some of them, made our way to the top. Most of the buildings were destroyed and burned. Seems that there was some kind of altercation between these pirates and the cultists that were there on the island. Found out they were holed up in a basement. Took care of them. Found out the basement led to a dungeon. A whole bunch of nasty stuff in there. And along the way, we got some people that were guards to these cultists that are the ones we brought back with us. They say that they're just mercenaries and they didn't have anything to do with it, but they are also stayed put on the island for I'm not sure how long, and were somewhat responsible for over 100 people coming in by slaves from these pirates, then being sacrificed. So probably many of them skeletons that were in the dunes were people that were brought there, partially responsible for getting killed.
he's starts kind of drumming the fingers of one hand on top of the other. I see.
Shortly after Bart finishes, Julian will kind of throw up a hand.
To make sure the scales are weighed fairly. They did come willingly, and they did assist with the eradication of the undead on the island. Do with that information what you will.
To ensure that the scales are weighed fairly. You know, just kind of I don't even make contact with Julian when he says that. They did so after we had them all but beat. And they were forced to lay down their swords.
And if they swing, they swing.
They do seem rather confident that they'll be able to convince you that they shouldn't swing. If that's your decision, that's your decision. But that is the truth of the matter, and I think you should know that.
Most would not be so confident in their position. I'm curious to find out why these ones are. But, well, thank you. And these men will be dealt with. Unfortunately, they are not. Yes.
I like that, although they are, we're not people that should go without punishment. And honestly, they're good in a fight. They were decent. They were alright. I would personally request that you don't outright execute them, but you make them fight.
What?
I'm not sure 4 men will make a difference in a war.
I mean, it might
Especially 4 men
Not to
that...
disrespect your decision, but he is correct. It's a bit of a larger scale than 4 men may, by the lonesome, make a difference in.
Especially 4 men that we can't necessarily trust. While on the island, they didn't attack Miss Conley or attack us. They also understood the situation that they were in, and that if they did, they were going to die. I would have made sure of that, and I'm pretty damn sure Glued would have made sure of that. I personally could never trust these men in my fighting ranks.
I absolutely understand that that I'm in the minority in feeling like this, but I like to make a kind of obvious point that although we are fighting a war, I feel like we're more than an example of four people who can make a difference.
Considering that you all not only defeated them, but drove them to surrender, I doubt they are quite as effective as the four of you. However, that being said, I will take your counsel into account. Or not. Unfortunately, yes, despite the crimes these men have committed, they are not my priority right now. They are welcome to sit and cool their heels in my cells for the moment. I have bigger, much more important fish to fry. But them not doing what they were doing is commendable, and I thank you for putting a stop to it, and for liberating that island. We should be able to move men in quite soon. He just kind of starts stroking his beard and kind of looks down and shuffles through some papers. They should do nicely, and get some kind of forward front observational, keeping an eye out for as much movement as we can for things that move underwater, largely and in part. But it will be also a good place for us to send troops, or men of any kind, scouts, war parties. They'll be able to do their jobs a little easier and a little faster. So,
Speaking of the island,
yes.
I know Bart had mentioned the kind of hidden area in the Abbey, or the burned down building. We did our best to mark. There are a hell of a lot of traps in there, either with chalk or with chalk X's or torches placed in front of traps. There were pits that there was no floor. It looked like there was a floor. There was gas traps, and we were able to get rid of most of the rockfall traps and the big arrow traps. But we're pretty sure we got all of them. Just whoever ends up there, they need to be careful. We'd hate for somebody to get hurt.
Absolutely. I'll have my men notified and sure to prevent anyone from wandering around where they shouldn't.
Thank you.
I want to pull Julian down to me a little bit so I can whisper in his ear.
No, we know. Yeah.
Should we give them the key?
Probably, yeah.
Your call, you have it.
Yeah, he'll hand over the key.
To the maze catacomb thing.
Takes the amulet in his hand.
Opens a secret door in a weird altar room.
It's a curious shaped key. But
almost didn't realize it.
Interesting. Well, if it was that difficult to spot, if you could perhaps make some notes so my men could more easily locate or avoid, preferably.
Of course.
He will. I've got paper in my inventory. He'll go ahead and write down a simple set of instructions on how to locate the door and open it and all that good stuff.
Sure. All right.
Make for a decent storage room if you have somebody who's good at spotting and disarming traps once they're all disarmed.
Perhaps one day. For the moment, the location itself is good enough for us.
All right.
Do our best to not lose any men or to injuries or death if we can avoid it. So, very well. I'm glad to hear that you all returned and relatively safe and sound, and having acquired a new companion. Kind of nods towards Ellie. If you have not gathered, ma'am, I am Eliander Firebrand, captain of the guard and member of the Council of Saltmarsh. Steps ahead. Ella Conley. That's it. Just kind of waits for a second. Goes, but well.
Yeah, sorry, pardon me. I didn't make any introductions. Miss Conlon was very instrumental in helping us take care of the undead situation on the island.
Well, I thank you kindly, ma'am. Any help in these times is greatly appreciated. And I'm sure that you will be compensated for the work you have done by these fine gentlemen and the Mariners Guild. However, I must ask, do you intend to depart again anytime soon, or will you all be staying for a while?
Well, you tell us. What are those other things that need to get done looking like right now?
They stand fairly
Let's go.
similar as before. They both need to be done, but they are difficult and dangerous. One more so than the other, but the other's a bit more time consuming due to distance. And less dangerous, but equally difficult in other ways to convince any of those soldiers and knights and rangers to abandon their posts. They are quite devoted. But
Understand.
the longer
What
this
would you
goes
s-
on, the harder it will be. We can't know the plans of the enemy, and the longer we stay overextended like this away from a more defensible position, the harder it will be, and the more strain it puts on our own forces.
Right. The plan was to go and try and find the den of the Swahag.
Yes.
But I just heard talk around town that we were having trouble getting reinforcements here. Didn't know which one's more urgent.
There are those who are dragging their feet when it comes to our requests. The come through red tape and bureaucrats is just about damn near as hard as planning a war itself. But we'll do what we can. Hence all the mercenaries that we've got about, unfortunately. But they stick around as long as the money keeps coming, and there are those members of the council who have enough to keep them interested for at least the moment. But it's an equally perilous decision, one way or the other. Important on both fronts, but I'd be happy for you to undertake either.
Fellas, what you reckon?
If they
Miss-
need people, they need people. That's knowing where they're at isn't going to help if they get some sort of counterattack going on right now and just end up getting overwhelmed. That's the way I'm thinking about it. But
We aren't quite sure what the full strength of the Sahuagin currently lies at, numbers-wise. Kind of fighting in the dark in that regard, so. I will say, as much as we do need those reinforcements, and they would be very helpful, on the other hand, you do have, if we know where they're located and more details on their positioning and numbers, perhaps we could strike first. But we can't be sure which will be more advantageous. This is why this is a difficult decision. And I do not wish to sugarcoat. We have not had any survivors come back who have tried to undertake the same mission. So if you do choose to go forth, proceed with extreme caution. It's
Well,
not something to approach full-heartedly.
I'm up for either. I was of the mind before that the finding their den or their base of operations was probably the better option. I'm still kind of that mind, but go either way on this. Y'all tell me what you're feeling up for.
we can talk about it tonight over dinner, right?
I agree.
I'll kind of look back to Friar Brand on that one. Like, How soon you trying to get this information?
It is difficult to say. The sooner the better, of course, but you all just came from quite the task. An evening will make no difference.
Right.
Y'all have earned it.
Don't send anyone else out.
We have
At
not.
least until we make our decision.
Don't worry. We've been fighting them in a much more defensive as we can and keeping an eye out. Your men and women, the troops that your elf friend brought, have been very helpful in keeping our eyes open in the water.
Nice, good to hear. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll get out your hair.
Very well.
Talk about this early in the morning.
Very well. You know where to find me, or at least where to find somebody who knows where to find me.
I mean to get this done quickly. So if you got a note you can make in your schedule, we here.
Of course.
You fellas reckon 8, 7:30?
Well, that'll be good.
I will do my
Right.
best to be present.
Staying here late.
He's kind of rubs his face. I have been, as of late, yes. Anywho,
All right. Well, let's get out of here.
good evening. gentlemen.
We're getting paid for this? I just remembered.
I
You
do
should borrow-
believe there was a price posted by the Mariners Guild.
That's right.
Yep.
Didn't know if you were taking charge of that or what.
That should be coming from their coffers. I just made sure they got somebody to do a job for them.
Top of the hat, man. Start leaving.
All right. So y'all troop on out.
Do I see what cell Balin gets put in?
The cells aren't necessarily like right up against there. You saw them go down that way. And there's only like 2 largish size cells from what you recall. So they're kind of right next to each other.
Okay.
So
Is Bigun the like the kind of standard sort of clerk at the desk whenever people come in and out?
From what you guys have seen, there's been like one other guy, but most of the time you see the big, bald, kind of larger dude.
I'll just kind of tell him. Watch
Yep.
the leader of that group. He's a little bit slippery.
Kind
Be
of
on your
glances
toes, right?
down the hall. Don't you worry. And he just kind of, you see him kind of from out under the desk. He puts a cudgel on top and just kind of pats it on the desk. Like,
That's one way of definitely negotiating your point. You have a good one.
usually works pretty good. You too.
He's definitely a hell of a charmer.
Well, kind of hard to chat me up from down that way in the cell.
All right.
All right.
Get outside and go. All right, go on ahead. Let me hear it, fellas. I know y'all much didn't like what I said in there.
Not up to us. Chips are on the table. Justice can be served. We're done with it. You did no wrong. By me, anyway.
Yeah, we have different beliefs. I think that's one of the things that makes us stronger as a group.
We're all doing what we think the right thing is.
Great. Well, let's go get some bad food.
Do you want to go to you want to go to the Mariners Guild in the morning, or
I don't want to do anything until I got a full belly.
you know, that's a fair point. My arms are feeling a little rough.
All right.
So, yeah.
Off to the snapping line.
Y'all are off to the snapping line. All right. Y'all make your way on. Still kind of working out some sore muscles. Do a little bit of stretching. You're trying to get your arms over your head, like.
Backpack's never been more heavy.
But in swift order, especially, like, there's a very y'all seem to almost be walking a rut in this section of road from the jail to the snapping line. Y'all made this trip pretty frequently. But y'all make your way down and come on in, and it's full, pretty full. A few people kind of trying to keep things merry, but relatively sullen kind of overall tone. So walk in. Hannah's at the bar as per usual.
Didn't I pay Hannah to take care of the bird for a day?
I think so.
I think I did.
I'm pretty sure you left the bird here. Yeah.
That's first thing Gloop's going to do.
You go and check on the bird. Hannah, like, as you come in, Hannah goes, "Oh, I see you are all back. Yeah, your bird. It's kind of in the back here. Kind of like there's a little like extra room through the kitchen. He's very loud bird. He's got a very foul mouth.
Yeah, he's got a beak on him.
Yeah. Cooks aren't a huge fan of him, but nobody killed him while you were gone. But he's right back that way. If you just want to, you should be able to pop back there and get him."
I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
First one, who should I talk to about having a letter sent?
I believe, oh gosh, I think I addressed this before, but I can't recall if I put any facts down on it. If you go down kind of by the docks, there's a kind of near where the Mariners Guild is. There's like a smaller building that they handle some of the smaller scale mail, as long as you're not trying to send anything like too big.
All right, thank you. The second thing,
Yes.
how much would it cost for 2 rounds for the house?
For the house, and she just kind of looks around at all the people that are in the building currently.
For the house. I like to have a little bit more atmosphere when I eat.
I see.
I'm gonna give Jakob a stern look and just kind of be like, "Don't you think they've had more than enough from?"
Hannah
what
does
we've been
kind of
seeing?"
like, I understand that your heart's in the right place, but a lot of these men and women, just everybody who's in here really has kind of been in the cups for quite a bit. Kind of. Drink isn't necessarily going to be the thing that lightens the mood right now, I don't think.
All right.
And she goes, "Oh, speaking of mail, Julian, correct?"
Yes.
She kind of shoves a hand down in her apron and pulls out, not quite completely crisp since it was been in her apron, but this arrived actually yesterday afternoon, for you, I believe. It kind of holds it out.
Looks at it in completely out of left field consternation for a second, and then gingerly takes the letter.
Okay.
Any identifying marks on it that he can see?
So looking at it, it has your last name printed in very just precise block letters, Orosi, and a like dab of sealing wax keeping it shut that has no stamp of any kind.
No signet. Don't
no
like
signet.
that. Just gonna Sharkily purses lips and frown.
Thank you.
I can open it yet.
Of course. I receive mail for those staying in sometimes.
He will tip her a gold piece.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Anything I can get you, gentlemen? Any drinks, food? It's starting to get a little
Food.
little bit samey, but we're still doing all right food-wise.
You got an
It's
extra
gonna be
40 seconds.
delicious.
Yeah, just go ahead and throw that on there. We're
Yeah.
all starving.
Sure, of course. I said, for food and round of drinks for the lot of you, would be about 3 silver will be fine.
All right.
I want 3 rounds of drinks.
For yourself?
Yep.
Go ahead and tack on like an extra silver for that.
So 4 silver total.
4 silver total.
I got it.
All right.
Thank you, Gloob.
So, find a spot if you can. That I'll have all of that out for you guys and just all you boys shortly.
Is the rug that Gloob gave her open?
You're trying to just sit on the rug in the floor?
Yeah, why not?
It's in front of the fireplace currently.
Cozy.
No. It's hot.
It's not like a hot not like a large fire burning. It's mostly just kind of like some embers to kind of, take some of the humidity out of the air maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sitting on it.
Jakob goes and sits on the bear skin rug, just hanging out. Clack, 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 clack. Like, as he kind of gets himself situated, he's over there sitting crisscross applesauce. Like, but if the rest of you so choose, I'll say you can find like a table. Like, it looks like some have been constructed in the recent past to create more seating, so that people aren't just having to sit on the floor, as some may choose to do.
Right.
But
Okay. Well, yeah, let's find a place to sit down. I'm sure Jakob will come once the booze do.
When the booze come, I come.
oh my,
Absolutely.
but sure enough, like probably like 20 minutes later, a very harried looking waitress looks new. Like Hannah hasn't kept much in the way of wait staff, but appears as needs must currently. But comes out and kind of sets you guys down some platters and kind of puts out some drinks and stuff for you guys.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Groats kind of dips a little bit and scuttles back off.
Skittles. Okay. Yeah. Ravenously eat.
It is an indelicate sight to behold.
Righteous.
Got like beans and peas in the beard.
Wow. Yeah. And it's like so and like Ella had said, not Ella, gosh darn it. Like Hannah had said, it's not anything fancy. But it's a stew and some bread that y'all are getting. It looks like it's not particularly like super thick. Looks like maybe they're kind of she's planning ahead and is kind of it's not gruel by any stretch. But definitely you've had better.
Sure. Hunger, spice, all that nice.
Exactly. Y'all are eating it up, tearing it up. The mood in the room stays about the same. Another guy gets chucked out for being way too drunk, way too early in the afternoon.
Is it Jakob?
I don't know, Jakob. Are you getting that insanely drunk?
How long are we gonna be here for?
He is just like, roll me 10 Constitution saves. Don't roll a 1.
Well, you ordered 3 drinks, so those came out pretty quick, and it's like an ale. So. Wow.
Okay. 22.
For are you planning on
For
drinking a
Constitution.
shitload?
I mean, I'm gonna drink 2 of the ales very quickly, and then let
You-
the third one.
You don't start vomiting all over yourself or anything. You're a hearty drinker. Three ales ain't enough to put you off your ass. So
Yeah. I figured I'd roll because I drank earlier in the day.
sure, there's a lot
Which I
of
know-
physical activity to
yeah.
kind of work a lot of that off. You purged yourself on the way, but y'all are sat and mostly eating at this point. You got a little you got some remnants and you got some flavor saver in there in the beard, Bart. But I'm feeling much more satisfied. Y'all are sat at a table in the snapping line. What would you like to do?
Alright, so what y'all reckon we're gonna do tomorrow?
Hey, let's eat. I was
I'm
gonna
just-
I was-
I was saying this after we've eaten.
Well, right. Glue was gonna bring it up earlier, and then just kind of like stopped himself from bringing it up because there's like, for the past, I don't know, 30 minutes, we've had some sort of reprieve from like, all right, now we gotta go do war stuff again. So Glue's just like, we can talk about it in the morning. It's one decision to make, really. So, and it's a option A, option B. I don't think we have to talk about it right now, right?
Alright. We still gotta go talk to Captain Zendros, get more supplies, and still be ready for it in the morning.
Sure.
Not trying to bring down the mood. That's the last
Right.
thing I want to do, but I'd much rather bring down the mood than be unprepared.
Well, you asked a question to one of them earlier, and it got me thinking. You asked about their family, and I realized I didn't know much about y'all's family.
Oh yeah, I come from a big family up in Gilbin.
I
What do you
don't know
mean?
where that is.
Don't we have a map? I'll just.
You do.
Yeah. It was-
I'm pretty sure you do anyway. We'll say you do.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
thought
reason for
we
you
did.
not to
Yeah.
have a map.
That would be
at this
pretty dumb
juncture.
of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whoever has the map will bring it out, and it's about right there. Just a small little place, a little halfling community.
Julian takes out the map because I think it's in his sealed scroll too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Yeah, it's about right there. Not a super big town, but a little folk can make a big town seem bigger, or a small town seem bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense to me. I think.
I'm from Seaton, which is right here, and my wife is from a little estate near the Dreadwood.
The dead.
guess
Well,
is what
that
you
sounds
call it?
lovely. The Dreadwood?
It is indeed called the Dreadwood. Yeah. I
Yeah.
had to double check to make sure it wasn't the
Nice.
Deadwood. I was like, I feel like that'd be.
That's super
We couldn't
pleasant.
do that.
I mean, family of Dampiers. So
Is that like
it makes a little bit of sense.
is that like a family name? Like, I heard of a judge that had that same last name over in Seaton.
No, you mean Dreadwood?
Correct.
No, I think that's the name of the wood. Just kind of a bad. I mean, not a bad name. It tells you what's in there.
Nope. Yeah, well, that sounds a lot worse. I was just hoping it was a name. So, you been out in the Dreadwood often?
Nope. I used to work for a family at the estate. That's the closest I've ever been.
Why do they, you know why they call it the Dreadwood? It seems
I will point out, y'all have been made aware that the Dreadwood is the primary. That's the whole the big thing for Burl, is keeping the things that wander out of the Dreadwood from
Right.
getting anywhere they shouldn't.
okay. Gotcha. Well,
I would say it's a wood that inspires dread.
right. Okay. Well,
Can I get a brandy, please?
maybe.
2 more else.
Yes. It's like a little kind of like mousy girl that looks like a younger woman is kind of like, oh yes, and kind of run like is like in the midst of kind of trying to distribute drinks, like, oh yeah, I will tell Miss Hannah, and
So
and
when she
does the
pops
same.
up, Julian's like that meme where it's like, Jesus!
She's like, bow. Yeah.
I'll pass her
Suddenly
a
waitress.
silver and
Yeah.
5 copper.
She's like the only waitress who's constantly kind of like making a circuit, and then back to the bar and the kitchens, and then back out making a circuit.
But Gloob, I mean, you met my daughter. Is what's Miss Conley with us?
Yes. She's kind of sitting at the table, just kind of listening, like.
And my wife lives in Steeden.
By the way, you didn't say Dampier out loud, did you, in character?
No,
Okay,
I
I was
did
making.
not.
I
No,
assumed.
I've not said that to
I
anybody.
assumed that was an OOC comment. I just wanted to be sure.
That would no.
Okay.
There's not a fucking chance I'm saying that in front of fucking Ella.
Do you know what a Dampier is in character?
I would assume my wife would have explained it to me.
Okay, sure, fair enough. All right,
Oh.
roll for marital trust.
Oh, natural 1. She hates me. Actually, I got a 17.
All right. Well, I don't mean to get personal if you're not comfortable with it, Yakin, but are you and your wife still together?
Well, I mean, after what happened with my daughter, she left. Needed some time. I wouldn't say that we're done. I hope not.
Right. Okay. Well, my thinking was you said her family had an estate out in the direction of the Dreadwood, and if we're gonna have to be going and out in that direction, I didn't know if that would be some kind of aid to us. So my thinking
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in order to marry me, she had to make a decision to either give up the name or give me up. And I guess she liked me a little bit more than her family name.
Well,
And they don't tend to look too kindly towards me.
well, sounds like if she's willing to give up family, then she'll be. I'm sure she'll come around soon.
I hope so.
Well, they're busy anyways right now. I mean, I'm sure that means a lot to you and everything, but you got a lot going on right now.
True.
Yeah, we're all keeping busy, that's for sure.
Bam!
Oh.
Door kicks in. Wife, want you back.
Just like dips her head under the entryway.
I hate it here.
Oh my.
Stupid little man thing.
Bart and her are gonna bond over hats. It's gonna be awful.
Oh shit. It's perfect.
What about you, Julian?
All right, down character traits for this lady.
What is Mike's Hard Brandy? I never heard of that before.
Looks around, it's like, where's that waitress with that brandy?
Like looks back off towards the bar.
She's still not quite back yet. It looks like it takes her a minute to get all the way around to everybody's drinks and stuff. It's a bit crowded.
Yeah, slow service. Any more wait staff?
I get it. Oh,
I was the youngest of 11 kids, so that's pretty interesting, I guess.
It's about 9 more brothers than I've got. Can't imagine.
Yeah, well, my dad was kind of rapscallion. He kind of he stayed busy doing all the wrong things a lot of the time. So yeah, that's I don't know. That's an interesting tidbit. I ain't seen many humans that got 11 children, so.
Seen a couple. It's not a good deal.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Oh no, we lost him!
Oh,
Seen a couple. It wasn't a good deal.
No!
Yeah, he said it wasn't a good deal.
And then immediately disconnected. I wonder what that says.
Oh no, the 12 family members are coming to get him.
Yeah, they jumped his ass just at the computer.
They said, "You talking shit."
Well, I guess while we wait for him to reconnect, carry on.
yeah, I guess I can like. I mean, I'm pretty much farming most of my early life. Dad passed on. Siblings are kind of all fuck ups or got themselves in bad situations and ain't here no more. So town started going down south, and my dad kind of ran things there, and he was having some issues, and he's just told me to get on now. Don't let this place hold me back, or that place hold me back. So I left. Gave me a good old crystal knob, and we really need a different name for doorknobs.
I mean, what's wrong with it being a knob?
Entry handle.
Yeah, he gave me this old door handle, and thanks, God.
You just hear you feel like you hear the voice of Sorolla briefly. No problem.
Gave me this old door handle, and yeah, I don't know where he got it from. I didn't really have much time to ask. He kind of told me to leave, and then passed himself right soon after. So just kind of cut all ties and kept going about my going. That glue along the way.
Thankfully.
Dried little frog.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, but 64 years in a small little village, not doing a whole lot of nothing, and hell, I've been with you guys for a few weeks, and already doing more than probably my whole family did all their lives, so it's looking up for me. Happy to be here. Had a couple of missteps along the way. But yeah, it's looking good. Let's keep it going.
All right. What about you, Gloob? We all talk about our family.
I mean, not much of a family. It was a tribe. That was about it. Really not a whole lot to talk about.
All right. Well,
I mean, Bart says he has 11 brothers and sisters. That'd be a small batch for a tribe like mine. I mean, you're talking about 50 to 60 eggs at once.
Yeah, it's a might different situation, I would say for sure.
Huh.
My pop had to go through 3 different women to get all of us out, so.
Yeah. Julian, did your brandy loosen you up yet?
As soon as it got there, it's just like
Yeah.
bottoms up.
Probably some point during.
Wait! What fucking brandy do you hold like this?
It's a
You're not a
You
small
order.
creature, dog. You're not Gloob or Bart sized.
Brandy. Yeah.
it's just like a little
Let
kid
me-
with a cup.
You guys look
Imagine
over.
like a
You look over and you
coffee cup
notice
size
that Julian
thing.
is slowly shrinking.
I'd like to get a keg of brandy, please.
Haha, my potion of growth I slipped into his drink.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, if you could just put a drop of growth potion into a drink and it would just make more drink.
That'd be an. Oh, I thought he was going with the shrinking him. But yeah,
Yeah,
Oh no,
so-
I was gonna shrink them.
I was like, that'd be a good prank right there. All of a sudden, you just become Gloob or Bart just becomes tiny. Oh, oh no! Oh no!
I'm gonna cause. I think I'm about to cause some mischief.
You just got a
5 foot.
you got a poison dart frog in your hand with a fancy hat, like haha.
Honey, I shrank my party. Oh no! Regardless,
5'8" is short, huh?
Imagine us all being tiny creature and like a large beach ball that's just like covered in moss. That's like a stealth beach ball. We just like infiltrate behind enemy lines in that manner. Yeah.
anywho,
As soon as he gets the brandy, Julian
Yeah.
like downs it while
Yells-
listening to.
those
The Bart
drinks
talk.
do arrive. Your other round, Jakob, and your brandy, Julian.
Well, what you want to know? I've got a brother, a wife. Father passed a while back. Mother passed when we were young. About it.
You said you had an estate. What's that like?
Well, I don't. My brother does. He's a merchant and has done very well. I lived, whichever. Whitecrest, village, about halfway to Seaton. Not a big place. It's comfy though, friendly.
All right.
Band, Whitecrest, Seaton. From all over this place. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're all relatively local. Anyway, I mean, I guess none of us wants wherever we come from to get ran over by Swahagi, at least for the most part. So,
Gloob considers that question a bit.
the funny thing is that Bart wasn't even saying for the most part for Gloop's consideration. He's just talking about the fuckery at home.
Right.
So yeah, common interest outside of making a fair amount of change and causing change. Yeah, this is working out real nice. What about you, Miss Conley?
Ah. In what regard?
Where it come from? You got a husband, kids, brothers, sisters, all that stuff.
I believe I told you when we first met. I from much farther north in Keeland.
Right.
Brothers and sisters, no. I was an only child. My parents are long past.
All right.
Had a family of my own at one point. Not anymore.
Sorry to hear that. Yep. Just gonna take a long draw off of the drink. Well, what? It is probably getting pretty late in the afternoon. Might want to see Captain Zendros before long.
What do we got to show her again?
We gotta get her to look at these magic items and make sure they're not going to try and take her souls.
I mean, this sword can take my soul for all I care. You see how cool this thing looks?
You know, more than likely, if there's something that's going to take our soul, it's probably going to look real damn cool.
Hell yeah.
Oh god.
That's not a good thing.
Oh god, I know how to just murder Gloob whenever I want now.
You should have known that from the very beginning.
Just cool pirate gear. Just make it very
I need, like,
cursed.
a billowing cape that like constantly billows with like the super
That's
cool like
awesome.
crossbones and skull on it,
It's so good.
gold edges. You lose 10 HP around while wearing it.
Holy shit!
Eye patch of eye poking. Just getting right there.
You just always have disadvantage on visual.
Ow. Ow. Take it off. No, fuck you.
It's not even cursed. You can take it off whenever.
It just
you
has
want.
spikes on it, so when you think,
It'll
Spike
be
only
Luke's
pokes out if you
ring.
open your eye.
Speaking of cool stuff, I do need to pick something of my own up. So if we're gonna go to Zindros, let's go ahead and get it done.
All right, maybe she'll have something good. I know it's only been a day, but we can cross our fingers.
what's going on, Jones?
Nothing.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing.
Anywho, so y'all are picking up and heading towards Captain Zendros' area?
Yep.
Alright. So, y'all extricate yourselves. Julian and Yakub, you pay off the tiny tab you racked up with your one extra drink each. Julian, a brandy's about 2 silvers. Whereas Yakub, 1 extra drink is about 5 coppers. So, y'all make your leave of here, kind of Batman transfer of scene transfer from Captain Zendros to or from the snapping line to Captain Zendros' tent. Yeah, everybody just waves their hands. Oh, it's perfect. I'll have to make a transition like that. It won't actually change the scene or anything. It'll just go across the screen and then come back up, and that's all that'll happen. But anywho, y'all make your way over to Zendros' tent, and it's a little afternoon at this point, probably like 2, maybe a little close to 3 at this juncture. But y'all make your way over there. Zendros' tent is indeed still there. It appears to be open. Flaps are open. It's like
Gonna get there and she's just gonna be like swimming in gold. Like, sup guys?
hi, how are you?
What?
But no, y'all walk in and you see Zendros kind of, as per usual, kind of leaning on her kind of table thing that she uses to conduct business. Ah,
Fine lady or Captain Zendros.
yes.
Yes,
It's been so long.
Oh,
indeed.
terribly long.
An eon.
And feels like so long ago since I saw your smiling faces. And a new one, though a little less smiley on her part. And
What did the
Ella just kind of stares at her and says, I think I'll wait outside. And turns around and steps back outside the tent.
Ella said, "Fuck a tiefling, get the hell out of here, this demonic shit."
And says, oh, well, not everybody is so suited to my company. What can I do for you?
Could you take a look at these items you got here?
Of course.
Unshoulder the shield.
So, oh, I see you acquired some new toys while you were gone.
Did,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Julian,
What?
has Julian told us about the stuff that he picked up in the rooms?
Julian,
Which stuff? I mean,
I mean,
you ransacked some scrolls and stuff.
they got a large amount of. I
Oh,
wrote
yeah.
down all the stuff, but that's OOC.
yeah. I would have gone over it at some point during one of the rests or the travel.
Right.
Okay.
I had it written down on a note card somewhere. I don't know where I put it.
This is
You
why you
had
put
4
shit in
scrolls.
D&D Beyond.
You had 4 scrolls. Let me see if there's anything else that was kind. Oh, we might want to also have the armor check just to make sure that we're not walking around with like, yeah, it's just slowly stealing everything from you.
Which thing?
The armor that we fought, and then.
Oh yeah,
the
that
bag
you
of
just
holding.
dumped in the bag of holding.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure
right.
that's not gonna reanimate.
I don't
My-
think it would be very nice in this tent if it did reanimate when we popped it out.
Armored bag man.
another tentacle moment inside of her tent.
I would like to say, just for OOC knowledge for everybody here, if something wants to get out of the bag of holding, it can. There's nothing sealing it in there.
Yep.
The only thing that's sealing it in there is a pause for dramatic effect.
Big pause.
They're gonna open it up, and I'm gonna fuck them up. Yes. I'm gonna look for the opportunity.
And you thought I said pause with a U. That's pause with a W. Hellhound. In the bag of holding. I joke.
Christ.
Anywho, so y'all, I assume y'all are fishing out all your various and sundry goodies.
Yeah.
Oh, and we should also probably check that sky blue leather book that you have.
And the potion and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the book you can't read.
Book you can't read.
Right, yeah, we'll lay it all up there. Yeah, we got these things from that abbey out in the island a few hours out there. There's a bunch of cultists up there, not really savory types. We took care of them and come back with interesting objects for you to help us understand better what their magical properties may or may not be.
Right. I see. Well, I can of course do these things, but you all know, business is business. So.
Quick
Julian will
check.
kind of jingle his coin.
We've got three items, 4 scrolls, and a potion.
Which potion are you talking about?
There was like 4 vials and 3
Okay,
of them were
I was
poison,
making
one
sure.
of them-
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that that was what you were referring to. All right. So I was like, I don't think they got any other potions on that island. So
I mean,
I'll
yeah,
make
it
sure.
could be some other kind of poison or something. I
Right.
presume.
Well, vialed substance, stoppered, as it were. Just looking.
What was that? The 3 poisons and what?
A unknown substance.
So, I mean, we know what the poison is already.
Yeah, you know it is a poison of some kind. You haven't identified its exact type, but I'll say y'all over one of your short rests or over the boat ride. It would be easy enough to finalize that those were 3 vials of serpent venom.
Okay.
So those are from the book, so that's easily enough. Which whoever wants to be keeping that in their inventory, you can just add 3 vials of serpent venom.
I would assume Mr. Gloob.
Poisoner extraordinaire.
Indeed. So yeah, we have 4 scrolls, 3 items, and a potion. So altogether, 8 items.
Yep.
At
So
50 gold apiece, right?
to identify things, correct.
It's 400 gold for all this.
Which she does inform me. She says, "Ooh, that's quite the haul that you have brought to me. It was come somewhere in about 400 gold to identify. I will say, I can't be quite so sure about this one." And taps a finger on the last vial. So I will of course take a look at it, but I can't tell you for sure. Some liquids, not all of them, are magical in nature.
I will give her 400 gold.
Oh, big
Well,
spender.
Shit. I'll just say under my breath.
She just kind of takes it and scoots it off to the side and kind of
You're like-
snaps a finger behind her, and one of her, her little hooded, like her one of the little like robed minions comes up and starts kind of counting the gold into like a lockbox.
Julian had like half reached out to Jakob when he was saying it, like.
Well,
While he counts that, I do have a question about this ring.
yes.
How much do you know about it? About
What do you mean?
potential side effects?
Side effects? I'm not quite sure. I told you about as much as I know about it myself.
Is there anyone that you would know that knows more about it?
Not anybody I could think of off the top of my head. But I bought it from a collector who was in need of a little money, so I like to collect odds and
Alright,
ends.
well,
and the legends and stories surrounding it had been enough to catch his eye, but not enough for him to not be willing to part with it.
I appreciate it.
Has it been damaging you in any way, or is it something I can do to assist you?
Not
Of course, I don't want one of my best customers to fall awry of a magical item that I sold him in the first place.
Wait. What do you mean, not physically?
Well, I mean, Gloob's noticed. Sometimes I get a little distracted. Can't hear for a little bit, or I'm a little out of focus and not able to do what I usually do normally correctly, or as well.
How interesting. The ring just inhibits you at random?
It seems to be when I'm at my worst.
Oh.
When performing something.
She is not stroking her chin. She doesn't have a beard, but she just kind of thinks, well, is it an effect of the spiritual nature of the ring itself, or does it seem to be some other hidden nature that has latched onto you?
Well, it's always my daughter. Just seems concerned
Your daughter.
about my safety.
I did tell you that there have been some instances where the interaction with the departed is quite strong with that ring. So,
Of course, I was just curious.
of course.
Much like with these items, just more information we know, the better.
Of course. And if you so desire, I can look into it some more and see if there's anything I might dig up. But every
How much
service.
would that cost?
Oh, just for some information gathering, I believe I've cited to some of your friends previously 50 gold to keep my services in the department of sending out some pigeons or something to contact my friends.
I think in an attempt to ease some of my friends' minds, I'm willing to pay that.
Always a worthy cause.
Thank you. Yep.
Julian will front the 50 for that since he paid for the identification.
Sure. She slides it off to join the pile where her dude is still kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He says, so, shall I begin?
We are, yes.
Very well. And she kind of does a quick little kind of like tracing a few like arcane sigils in the air that glow briefly as her finger passes through it, and then before the energy gathering around her eyes as she starts to kind of examine one item at a time. She starts off with your sword, Gloob, and just kind of looks at it. Oh.
Please don't steal my soul. Please don't steal my soul. Please don't steal my soul.
Oh, I don't think you should be any worry of that, my dear.
Yes! Told you. Suck it.
This blade is very, aside from being beautifully crafted, is some magical lend to its ability to deal death. A little more effective its balance, a little better its ability to pierce through armor or hide of any such, just a little bit better. But also, curiously enough, it seems to possess the ability to, limited though it may be, to assist the user magically in their endeavors to be more strong if they so desire, more agile, or more charming even, or more wise. It's a very interesting use of, interesting trait for a weapon to have, but useful nonetheless. Just kind of proffers it back out to you, Gloob. I believe this is yours. My pleasure. She picks up the shield next, does the same, and Well, I see they're a bit on the nose with the decorations of this piece, but it does appear to allow the wearer to be a bit more perceptive while they are attuned to its magic, as well as maybe a bit more light on their feet when it comes to entering combat. Very useful, especially for one who uses a shield. And she just kind of taps her nose, looking at Bart. And I believe this was in your possession.
That's right.
Picks up the bracers next. Gives them a quick magical scan. Says, oh my goodness, yo, came upon quite the stash, it would appear. I don't imagine you might be willing to sell some of these items, but these, I think very commonly it appears to be of elvish make and design. I don't know where you might have found it, but my goodness, these allow for an arrow to find its home with a little more precision and force when magically attuned to a wearer. Quite useful
Hands
if
over
any of you
Julian.
are an archer. Yes.
Yeah. Julian's over there like, arrow, you say.
If you don't gather, those are braces of archery.
Picked up on that.
Just making sure, man. I know sometimes you're a little too vague. And so she starts going through your scrolls. Those are much quicker and just kind of in quick succession. Just kind of holds up one. This can produce a silent image, as it were, a depiction of whatever you may choose. It'll move around, so you can make it move some at your will for as long as it moves, but it makes no sound. It can only move so far from its initial casting location, but could be very useful in distracting some pesky individuals. This one appears to fool with one's mind, the target anyway, and to so strongly believe that something that isn't there is there in their mind's eye, that it could even cause them harm. Sets that one down. The next one. Whoa, this is particularly naughty. If you use it the right way, be very careful. The gods might not be too happy for you to have it. But you can, with some short, simple phrases or one words, command someone to do your will if they aren't quite strong enough of mind. And lastly, this hold a person rigid, completely vulnerable, so long as the effect lasts. Setting those down, and those are respectively a scroll of silent image, phantasmal force, command, and hold person. And she points at this vial. Well, doesn't quite appear to be magical in nature. Let me see. She kind of pops the cork on the vial and kind of gives it a sniff. And examines. I believe I've come across some of this before. It's actually very useful in business practices, so I may have made use of this myself. But put this in someone's drink or forcefully make them consume it, and well, they will find it very hard to lie to you for at least a little bit.
That's pretty interesting.
It is very useful. Also, like that scroll that makes people do as you wish, there are quite a few, especially in the government, that would not be too pleased for you to have it. So, be a little
They don't need
cautious.
to know.
Exactly.
Jesus.
I'm glad we agree.
Julian's just like, yeah, well, fuck the police.
Has he been anything but since this campaign started?
So,
was just so bombastic and open about it. Yeah, but we're criminals, so it's okay.
Is it
She just
illegal?
said she used it, so.
Is it illegal for us to have it?
I don't know about necessarily illegal, but more frowned upon, especially depending upon who you use it, because, Well, if they're wealthy enough, law might not particularly matter, one way or the other. I would just be cautious with your application.
Is it just one? Just one
Yes.
application?
It appears so, yes.
I could probably cast a couple of them scrolls, but
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, if any of those are on, those who cast spells would like to check your spell lists.
Yeah, it
See if
was
those are
That's what I'm
any
doing
person,
right now.
old person, command, phantasmal force, and what was the last one?
Silent Image.
Silent image. Yeah, I don't think silent image or phantasmal force are on the cleric spell list. The other two are though.
I think they might. I think both of those are on the Warlock spell list. I'm not quite sure.
Interesting.
Old person is.
Interesting.
I know you can get Silent Image through a invocation. I don't know about Phantasmal Force. I say that as I'm sitting here, I can just right click on this
I
and tell you
cannot.
guys. So, oh yeah, the only one who gets Phantasmal Force is Genie, Undead, and Great Old One. You are not a Gulak, though a lot of the lore for your patron would point to otherwise. But what can you do? Nobody ever wants to be a Gulak. Tragic.
Well,
Yes.
what do you fellas reckon? Can you use any of these, Julian?
Oh, yeah, those sound nice.
He says, pointing at the bracers of archery.
Oh no, I mean these scrolls.
Oh,
He's he'll glance him over and he's like,
maybe this one. I'd have to look at it to be sure.
points at the hold person one.
Others, that's nothing. I don't understand the words.
Yeah, that one, and this making people do what you say when something kind of just steps out of it. I get it. I get the idea of what it's trying to say, I think. But you want to hold on to that one? I'll hold on to this one. We can sell the other two.
Sounds good.
All right.
Alright. So y'all are wanting to sell the scroll of Silent Image and the scroll of Phantasmal Force.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just really expensive paper.
Fair enough. Oh, neither of you can cast Silent Image? Oof, that's rough.
Wait,
I don't think it's
check
in
that
the
one.
cleric
I forgot to
list.
check that one.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Silent Image is not. You can only get it through that invocation. That's crazy. Anywho, so Zendros looks at him and says, "For those two together, I'd be willing to give you 120 gold pieces."
We just spent 100 gold figuring out what they were.
Yes.
Would
20
you
gold.
give
That's
these-
profit.
Right. But if we sold them to you,
Yes.
you were gonna have to do that work anyway.
Correct. But you chose to have me look at them first. What can I say?
We're very loyal customers.
You
How about
are.
You would not
150?
believe how many different magic shops in town want our business.
Oh, she just kind of, oh, I am sure they are beating down your door to get you to come in.
The bargaining is almost like playful in nature. He's like,
150.
They're like, please! I will allow somebody helm a persuasion check.
Julian's
I'll-
one flirt
I'll-
though,
I'll
right?
assist- I'll assist
Okay,
Julian
alright,
since
so
he
roll with
seems-
advantage.
Yeah!
Since he seems to be just going from a little bit half flirting, half negotiating, I'll wingman him. Why not?
And it's that good. I'm not trained, but I got raw charisma. 21.
Nice.
I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to apply your charisma bonus to your persuasion checks. Anywho,
I
Hey,
mean,
before his surgery, he was very suave.
Oh, I'm sure. The fisherman. Anywho, so
Hey, he landed himself a city girl. Come on.
as y'all are kind of like, oh, come on, you know, kind of like trying to be playful, she's like, oh, okay. You do spend quite a bit of money. So if I can, I'm sure it'll find my way back in my pocket eventually. Very
Sounds right.
150. She just scoops some of the, as the dude's counting, still just kind of.
That poor guy keeps getting his count fucked up.
She's not scooping from where he's already counted. The dude's very focused.
I just have this mental image of him being like,
He's at like 201, 202, 203, 204, 205. He's just going. It's a machine. He's focused. He gets a concentration check. That's a natural 17. He's laser focused on his task.
this man is on it.
Yeah,
He took his addies before he started counting.
Jesus Christ. But she just scoops that 150 back over to you guys. Yes.
All right.
Who's putting that on their sheet real quick? Just so we know.
I'll put the command scroll on my sheet, and the whole person will go to Julian.
What about the 150?
Not to me, because I still owe everybody money.
It should go to you because you're the one who forked up in the first place.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. And something we can handle off screen is splitting the 480 gold and 1,200 silver pieces and the 250 gold
Absolutely.
and jewels. We can split that after the fact.
Cody, something to keep in mind for you guys. The save DC on both of those spell scrolls is 13.
Okay.
Raj.
As they're a first and second level spell scroll, respectively. All right. So, is there anything else I can do for you boys?
You have anything for sale?
Alright, what other wares you still got here?
Oh, well. Y'all did do quite a bit to clear me out last time you were here. Let me take a look-see of what that still was, because I didn't left it. There we go. Well. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get much back in stock. You've only been gone a day. I got a couple more potions procured, but of the common variety. But other than that, it's the same as you are. You're familiar with the cape that allows you to teleport a solid distance. It's very useful. The other ring that was an option for our friend Jakob, which is not quite as specific, but it does allow you for periods of time throughout the day to look into the ethereal plane. Your bag of bounty that allows you to create some food out of nothing a few times a day. The better you are a cook, the better result. As well as these nice pair of glasses that just make you so irresistible at least once or twice a day. So, Cape of the Mountebank, Ring of Ethereal Vision, Bag of Bounty, and Eyes of Charming, plus 2 more common healing potions. Are what are in stock.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
anything twinging your interest a little more than it was last time?
You said there's 2 more common healing potions. Do you want to just go ahead and grab those just to have everything?
Yeah.
Sure. Glue will buy those. They're 50 gold, 60 gold each,
60
right?
each, yep.
Glue will buy both of them.
Very well. She slides them across the counter and takes 120 gold and adds it back to the pile the dude's counting through. Poor fella.
I think that's it for us.
Oh, very well. Hopefully, things will lighten up a little bit and I'll be able to acquire some more goods in the near future. Things
That'd
are a
be
little bit tight
pretty
at the
amazing.
moment.
Yeah.
Very well. Well, don't be strangers. Who knows? Even if I don't have anything to sell to you, maybe you'll find something fun and exciting that I can buy from you.
Yeah, maybe so.
Sure, we'll see you in like an hour.
Oh, I'm sure. Don't be strangers.
Never are. Well, guess we can run to the Mariners Guild real quick. grab our payment for the island, and then I need to go grab something, but you don't necessarily have to come with me for that.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
All right.
I do need to send a letter very quickly.
Luckily enough, where you were told that the post office, as it were, was located on that same area, which, unless there's anything extended that y'all are wanting to do at the Mariners Guild, you receive your 2,000 gold payment, which was what was agreed upon.
We just show up like
Basically, and they're busy. They've heard already. Kind of like the guards have been kind of down that way to let them know that you guys would be coming by, that you completed the job. So they've got it ready. Like little coffer gets handed off to you. And Jakob, it'd be easy enough to drop off a letter at this little kiosk. Basically, it's not like a postal service. It's more of like an area where those that do deliver things will tend to congregate, and so that there's a central place for people to go to find someone to, deliver mail. Like people who are running messages between cities. So you find someone who is headed towards Seaton, if that is what you are seeking.
All right.
And the delivery for that short of a distance can be about a gold.
Okay.
As we are wrapping up, is there anything else you gentlemen would like to do?
Oh, and those gems, did we have any diamonds? I can't remember what you answered me last session.
I think I said 80, but I do not like that number the more I think about it. So you have about 100 gold worth of diamonds currently.
Okay, yeah. Well, we can search for more diamonds next week.
Very well. Okay. Anybody else?
Blue was going to pick up his
swag?
His outfit.
The drip.
The drip.
And you get there, and it is glorious.
Thought you were gonna say closed.
Nope, no. You walk in there, and it's that same kind of snooty person that you ran into before, and they're like, "Oh, I believe you'll be very pleased." And they bring it out and just kind of lay it out for you, and it's everything that you could have imagined. It looks like they took very detailed notes when they were taking your measurements and listening to what you were wanting last time. And haven't had a ton to do because a lot of people are running out of money because they're spending it all on booze. So, and, the rich people aren't buying clothes right now. They're funding a war effort. So, it's glorious.
I will tip this person as snooty as they are an extra 20 gold.
Oh, they accept it.
So glorious.
Damn. I'm glad to have a pleased customer. Keep me in mind.
Indeed.
Refer me to your friends.
Yeah. Okay.
The shade. That was uncalled for. But yes, you now have your regalia. It looks so good with that sword. Just, really ties it all together.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, as y'all settle in for an evening not spent among undead and untrustworthy individuals or a burnt out hovel of an abbey, and you've picked up the drip, and you've sold off some stuff, and you now know for sure, reasonably, that nothing that you just gathered is going to eat your soul or something along those lines. That is where we will end tonight's session.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
thank you everybody for joining us this evening. For those who came by to watch, I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. I know this was not a combat heavy session. It's combat at all. There's no combat actually, but we gotta have those. It's got to be done, and they're fun and exciting in their own way. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. Thank you guys all, of course, for joining me this evening to play. I had a blast. Y'all are always great to DM for, and I hope that y'all enjoyed yourselves as well. That's the wrong fucking thing that I'm clicking on. Whoopsie daisies. But yeah, I think we're gonna everybody remember, of course, to take a look down below as we are still doing our charity stream for Extra Life. And that is for, I'm so sorry, that's for, for a good cause for children's hospitals and stuff across Northern America, the continental North America anyway. So that's a worthy cause. You might get something cool because we're having gifts and prizes and stuff. And of course we do also we do our Go Saltmarsh here on Mondays. We do Tavern Talk / whatever TM. We're revamping our Wednesdays, but we're looking to change it up, but still do something on Wednesdays. So keep your eye out for that, whatever that's going to be. And of course on Saturdays we have our Across Eberron campaign, which is DM'd by our very own Gloob, and has some of myself, Julian, and Bart reprising our roles as other characters. So that's fun and exciting. And we unfortunately missed this last weekend, but there's some shit that's gonna go down. So be there, be square, and we're gonna raid somebody. I believe we're gonna raid. I don't know if I've seen them before. I don't know if you have, Jones, but I see this TTRPG Academy, and that sounds up my alley. Teaching people to play Dungeons and Dragons seems like the fucking move. So everybody ready up for that? Show them some love. Say hi. Encourage everybody to do fun TTRPG things. And we will talk to y'all later.